What is good, everybody? It's your man EC1, man. Now listen. First of all, I want to say, man, it's the off season of the Philadelphia Eagles. I figured to come and talk to y'all about the Eagles off season and what I think the Eagles need to do to get back. Right? We got some news that we already heard about Howie Roseman and Nick Sirianni's press conference, Jonathan Gannon's press conference. Interesting, right? Before we do that, man. Before we do that, I just want to thank y'all for supporting me, good or bad. I just want to thank y'all for letting me entertain y'all with videos, letting me know, you know, what I need to do better. And I want to shout y'all out, man, because this channel does not work without y'all. We got 314 subscribers, man. I appreciate y'all. Never thought I would get there. And we're going to keep grinding. Listen to John Gannon's press conference today. One thing I saw, in my opinion, was I think Howie Roseman was going to fire Jonathan Gannon if he came back to Philadelphia. Because when you listen to that Jonathan Gannon in the NFC Championship game, he said, "I'm not leaving. We're on good terms, good or bad." When he asked him, "Hey, Jonathan Gannon, is this your last day in Philadelphia?" And he said, No, Philly's keeping me. I think after that Super Bowl, the way you lost that game, when your defense couldn't make stops, when you were the defense coordinator and you had no answer for Patrick Mahomes, you had no answer for these quarterbacks. Jonathan Gannon against real good quarterbacks has been bad against. Hasn't been good. He's been good against Daniel Jones. Not really an elite quarterback. But when it came to guys like Dak Prescott, Justin Herbert not this year, but the day before, when Jalen Hurts was in his second year, in his rookie year, technically, Justin Herbert killed him with less talent. We went out and got him talent. And I said, man, and there was rumors going around that Jonathan Gannon was on the hot seat. That if he did not win a championship, or he did not meet his expectations that he should have been, you say you needed linebackers. We go out and get you Nakobe Dean. We go out and get you Kaiser White. We go out and get you all these guys. You needed cornerbacks. Okay, we go get you Bradbury. You needed a safety. We go out and get you C.J. Gardner-Johnson, Marcus Epps. Then we draft a safety, I believe, for you. Both times. You needed more pass rush. You needed more help. We go out and get you Ndamukong Suh. We go out and get you Lindo Joseph. This guy has so much talent, and yet he couldn't figure it out. When Hassan Reddick is used wrong and you put him in coverage, man. When you got this dude right here, man, you know what I'm saying? Sitting there in coverage, bro. And I still remember this, man. I still have this, I believe. Let's see, do I have it? Because I knew it was going to be one day or another. When you had this, man. Come on, bro. That's why he's in Arizona. Jonathan Gannon was going to be fired if he came back to Philadelphia. And if you listen to Howie Roseman, man, Howie Roseman didn't look thrilled. When you give him so much talent and Jonathan Gannon can adjust because his scheme did not work and he wouldn't adjust to the players, man. You had so much elite defense. Do you know how many defense corners would love to have this type of defense that Jonathan Gannon had that he spoiled away? He had 2 weeks to prepare and you had no answer. And then you don't even give a good press conference. You don't even say, hey, anything. You just go to Arizona. But now when I look at the press conference with Howie Roseman, I look at the report that Jonathan Gannon was asked, you might as well stay in Arizona because you were going to be fired if you left. Don't bother hopping on a plane, Jonathan. Stay where you are. Stay where you are. Stay where you are. Don't bother hopping on the plane, Jonathan. If I guarantee our Roseman says, don't even bother hopping on the effing plane. Stay where you are. you're not coming back. If you saw Howard Roseman, you saw Jeffrey Lowe. When I go back and watch the game, they were furious. I watched the game again, man. And I remember Patrick Mahomes just sitting there, and it made me sick that the fact that when he was hurt, we did not pressure him. Now, you can talk about the field. You can talk about all of that. But Jonathan Gannon lost that Super Bowl. And I don't know if we're going to ever get that team back, man. But if I know one thing, I know that Howard Roseman is going to try to get this team back to a Super Bowl contenders. We're not getting Bradbury back. But you got to, I think C.J. Gardner-Johnson comes back. I think that you try to see if you can bring Hargrave back. But listen, he's 30 years old. I'm not paying him top money. Someone is going to be crazy enough to sign Hargrave. Because there's going to be a lot of GMs that are going to be on the line that are going to be fired. And they are going to want the big name. But the good news is for C.J. Gardner-Johnson, he's not the only one that's going to get paid. Jesse Bates is on free agent market. He's going to get the big check. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of players that might get moved into trades. But I'm so glad Jonathan Gannon is gone. Yeah, you beat the Giants. And, I give Jonathan Gannon for that, credit for that. But when you had Mahomes in the pocket, what did you do? You did nothing. And against elite quarterbacks, he's been horrible. Even against guys like Dak. I remember on Christmas Eve, he was leaving Dak sit back in the pocket, and we made so many excuses. Well, he didn't have Max. He had Max that game in the Super Bowl. Gannon had no choice but to take the job. Because if he did not take the job, he would have been fired. There would have been no way in hell he would have came back to Philadelphia and been a defense coordinator. Howie Roseman had enough of them. Howie Roseman pretty much said, hey, listen, take the job or you're out of here. Gannon was gone regardless how you felt. Now, we have some reports going around that the defense coordinator for Arizona, Van Joseph, might be interviewed. I really don't want Van Joseph. I'm going to tell you why. If you watch Van Joseph's scheme, man, it is similar to Jonathan Gannon. He also gives up a lot of points. So if y'all really hate Jonathan Gannon's scheme, you're not going to like Van Joseph's scheme. Van Joseph is more conservative. Now, people argue that he might not have a front defense, but he might have a great defense. But I just remember him in Denver. There was a lot of fans that said they don't like him. They don't like his scheme. They don't like the way he plays. I mean, the way he coaches. He coaches the same way Jonathan Gannon. Now, they tell me, well, Lovie Smith won the last in this league. I'm going to tell you like this. I believe if Lovie Smith had this defense last year, because I hear a lot of people. I was talking to my guy, Bobby Murphy. And he told me that Lovie Smith Tampa 2 don't work anymore. Wrong. Because if you look in this league, defense coordinators who are aggressive. Look at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers when they won that Super Bowl. They were aggressive. Look at the Rams defense when they won that Super Bowl. They were aggressive. You got to have aggressive defense coordinator. Hell, Jim Schwartz, I think, would have won with this Super Bowl, with this talent that Jonathan Gannon had. As much as we don't like Jim Schwartz would have definitely had a lot more blitz and a little bit more aggressiveness. Jonathan Gannon was soft. When your defensive player, Fletcher Cox, is sitting there saying, why am I chasing a running back? And when you have Robert Quinn and linebacker, man, you don't deserve the job. And I really don't understand how the Cardinals, and listen, I'm happy the Cardinals take him. Because Arizona Cardinal fans are going to see exactly why no one else wanted him. He's not going to be a good defense coordinator. He's not even going to be a good head coach over there. He's going to be another, and I'm going to say this, I'm going to make a hot take. He's going to be another Nathan Hackett. He is not going to live up to the potential. You think he's going to live up to the potential with Kyler Murray? If I'm the Cardinals, I'm calling up Eric Bieniemy and I'm asking for an interview. Now, Washington might be interviewing him. But if you want to help Kyler Murray, you go and get Eric Bieniemy for Jonathan Gannon. But Jonathan Gannon is not a good head coach, and I'm just happy he's out of here. Listen, Arizona want to pay him, that's fine. They have not been a small organization. That's why they won't win nothing for that much. I think y'all going to be back to back. Listen, man, I hope so. You know what I'm saying? We got a lot to talk about. This free agency is going to be tough, man. You know what I'm saying? I think you're going to lose Miles Sanders. I think you lose James Bradbury. I think you lose Hargrave. I don't think we're paying Hargrave. If he wants a lot of money, see you later. I like Hargrave. I think he's a good defensive player, but he's 30 years old. And I think you drafted players, man. I think you draft another pass rusher in this draft. You know, a lot of people think that we can't get these top pure pass rushers. Don't forget, in this draft, as we come along close to the free agency and eventually the combine in April, there's going to be a lot of players that are going to be dropping. We didn't think Nakobe Dean was going to drop. We didn't think a lot of players were going to drop, man. If you would told me that Devontae Smith was going to drop, I would have told you were crazy. You don't know how players are going to be, and you don't know how players are going to drop in these drafts. We got 2 first-round picks. I don't think we're using 2 first-rounders. I think we trade one, and I think we move it back or we move for next year. But I just feel like after that Super Bowl, Gannon was told, take the job or you're not going to be here. And I, you know what? I didn't want Gannon back, and I don't see how Gannon would have came back. You just lost a Super Bowl. Philly fans don't forget that. I mean, we don't forget that stuff. And the way you lost it, man, this hurts more than 04 when we lost to the Patriots. This hurts more. 21-24, we lost to them when McNabb puked on the ground because we had a franchise quarterback that kept us in positions. We had a quarterback that was battling. And Gannon lost that game because he did not adjust. They took the Jaguars defense, what they did to us. I mean, the Jaguars defense scheme, how they prepared against us. I mean, not defense, excuse me, the offense. How did they kill us against the defense? I mean, how Doug Pearson used it against our defense. And they used the exact same formula that they used that we saw in Jacksonville, where they were able to do motion to kill Gannon. And he should have knew about it. You had 2 weeks to prepare against Mahomes. What was you doing? You know, everybody wants to blame Nick Sirianni, but Nick Sirianni can't force Jonathan Gannon. Nick Sirianni's not here to baby Jonathan Gannon. He's not a babysitter. He's a head coach. He had trust in Gannon, and Gannon unfortunately did not have trust in himself to do it. Gannon was too scared. Gannon looked frightened. I didn't see Gannon over there saying, hey, come on, get your stuff together. I was watching Brian Baldwin breaking down the film, and they literally showed James Bradbury and C.J. Gardner-Johnson getting frustrated. Once your defensive players get frustrated, you do something to help them. Gannon didn't do that. So now I'm happy he's gone, man. And you know what? If I have a defense coordinator, it's Gus Bradley, because I think that he hasn't had a defense like us, this type of talent, or Lovie Smith. Please don't get Vance Joseph. If you think Vance Joseph is a good defense coordinator, look at Arizona. Look at Denver. They're not really good. And a lot of fans did not like him, and a lot of fans want him to leave. So if you really think Jonathan Gannon was the problem, if Howard Roseman thinks that, and I think Howard Roseman is not messing around anymore. When Howard Roseman said he wanted confetti dropped on us, he meant it. He meant it. And when you mess up an opportunity to get the confetti dropped on you, especially the wrong confetti, when it's not green and it's not green confetti coming down and white, and instead it's red and yellow, oh, you're gone. And in the beginning of the season, what did I hear reports say? And what did we hear? Gannon was on the hot seat. Howie Roseman said, okay, you need talent? Let me go out and let me help you out. Not only you get Hassan Reddick, you get so many other players, and you can't make an Eagles team Super Bowl contenders. You had lack of talent. Okay, we go in and help you out. Gannon had no excuses why he should have lost that Super Bowl. You need to help your pass rush, and you did none of that. You sat back, you didn't adjust, and you changed up your scheme, man. Listen, his scheme, he changed it up. If you know something is working and it's successful, why are you changing it? If it's somewhere, if it's the scheme that got you there, why are you changing it? If you know Travis Kelce is a problem, then you do something about it. You don't sit there and you just let them kill you. Jonathan Gannon was his worst enemy. And that's why he's not here anymore. Because if he didn't take the job, he would have been fired. They would have fired him off the spot. You're not coming back after you lost a Super Bowl the way you did. That was embarrassing. And we probably will not see this team ever again like this. This is why it was so important to get that Super Bowl. We will probably never, ever get that team like we did. If we make the Super Bowl, it's going to be less talent than we had before. Because you're going to have to pay Jalen Hurts. And you're going to have to draft rookie corners. If Michael Parsons had a narrative that said Jonathan Gannon had a free ride, I would 100% agree with him. Yeah, I agree. I was not a fan of Jonathan Gannon's scheme. I had issues with it, man. And then I give him a chance. You got a lot of content creators sitting there saying Jonathan Gannon was a good defense coordinator. He was good against mediocre quarterbacks. I'm going to say this, man. If Daniel Jones had the weapons like an Odell Beckham Jr., or he had weapons like Dak Prescott, we would have got destroyed. Because Gannon would have respected that. But when you have a guy like Daniel Jones who has no weapons, and listen, I'm not making excuses. We beat them fair and square. But Gannon respected so many quarterbacks. And kind of he respected before we got defensive players, he respected Daniel Jones. He respected David Webb. He respected Andy Dalton for the first half. He was not aggressive defense corner. And I don't need you to blitz. Everybody said, well, you want him to blitz every time. No. I want you to adjust. I want you to put your players in the best position to win. If you can't do that, you don't deserve to be a defense coordinator. If you need your players to ask you how to call a game, you don't need to be a defensive coordinator. If you can't give me one sack in the Super Bowl, that's all you needed. Because I believe if Jalen Hurts got that ball back in the fourth quarter with the game tied, with 1 minute remaining, I think you win this football game. You don't even need we even need to tie the game. I feel like if you even got one stop before the tie game, before Mahomes score on you, if you have pressured Mahomes, because once his ankle went down, I would have said, go and tack. You see that ankle? Take it out. People are going to call me a dirty fan. They're going to say, why are you on most injury? It's football. I don't care about the player. I want to win. If I have to take out Mahomes, I will. Because I'm worried about a Super Bowl. I want a championship. So excuse me for not giving a damn about Mahomes' leg or ankle. Because look what he did when we didn't take him out. He killed us. And he carved us up. Gaining respect to so many opponents, man. If we had a stop on fourth quarter, we would have won. Yeah. Yeah. Everybody wants to talk about Hurts fumble. Yeah, that hurt us. No question about it. And I wouldn't put too much on Hurts, really, to be honest, because I think Shane Steichen should have never called that. You know what I'm saying? Now, I think Hurts should have never fumbled it, but that's not why we lost the game. Hurts was phenomenal. He outplayed Mahomes. I don't care what anybody says. Look at the stats. Numbers tell the truth. Fans and people don't. Mahomes won because of Jonathan Gannon's lack of ability to adjust. Not because Mahomes was elite. Now, I think Mahomes is a great player, but he played against a defense coordinator that was scared, that didn't want to adjust. And listen, Eric Bieniemy and Andy Reid outcoached him. They outcoached him. And you remember the guy who won it, Vic Fangio? He outcoached him too. So I feel like if you need a defense coordinator, you go and get Lovie Smith, or you go and get. I'll even take Rex Ryan. I know a lot of people don't want to hear that, but Rex Ryan, he's aggressive. Now, is he the nicest guy? Is he a guy that is going to be nice? No. Listen, I don't care about being nice. Give me a defense coordinator that's going to come in there, that's going to pin his ears together, and pin his ears back and go after the quarterback. I know I'm stunned a little bit, but I'm trying to get this off, man. Gannon was out partying. Well, listen, I guess he can party in Arizona now. You know what I'm saying? Good luck. They're not winning anything time soon. I don't care what any Cardinal fan says. Cardinal fans say, you got the media talk about he's a great pickup. He's the best defense coordinator. No, he wasn't. If he was the best defense coordinator, he would have won the Super Bowl. We would have been on a parade right now, celebrating. If he was a great defense coordinator, he would have adjusted to Mahomes and would have realized what they were trying to do and would have adjusted, because the same scheme they used was the same scheme that they took from Jacksonville. If you look at Jacksonville, what they did to us on defense, especially against us, against our defense, it was a lot of motion. They literally went back and they did their homework. They went back and they did their homework, man. We should have did our homework with them. I would have looked at the Cincinnati Bengals tape. I would have looked at even back when Mahomes had no offensive line versus Tampa Bay Buccaneers game. I would have done something. Held the Chargers game when Kelsey fumbled. He did none of that. Or I would have kept the exact same scheme that I did that got me there. Why change it up? Makes no sense, man. Cardinal fans Cardinals about to lose Hopkins. That ain't my issue. But like I said, man, like this offseason is gonna be crazy. I do think that you gotta bring CJ Gardner-Johnson back, and as we talk about it, let's talk about the free agents. The free agents are gonna be big. Hold up. There we go. The free agents are gonna be big, man. I feel like the Eagles gotta find a way to keep CJ Gardner-Johnson. A lot of people think that he's leaving. I don't see the Eagles let him leave, because CJ Gardner-Johnson was a trade. When the Eagles traded for CJ Gardner-Johnson, they asked Malcolm Jenkins, hey, what do you think of him? So I think CJ stays. I really do. I mean, if you leave CJ Gardner-Johnson go, I think that's huge. You know what I'm saying? Now, he's going to want a lot of money. And here's the thing, man. This is why it's important to, when you have a chance to win the Super Bowl, you do. Because we're going to lose a lot of, listen, we're going to lose a lot. Don't be surprised. Again, I'll say this again for everybody who's not going to be ready. Don't be surprised if Darius Slay gets traded. We cannot afford him. He's a huge cap hit right now. They might look to move him. And honestly, do you blame him? Do you blame Howard Roseman? Darius Slay's not played to his potential. I know people like him. I know Darius Slay wants to be here. But Darius Slay right now is a huge cap hit right now. And he also is gonna want another deal. He also is gonna make more money this year. So I know how Roseman will handle it, but if I see Darius Slay getting traded, I'm not gonna be mad. Because see, here's the point, man. We need to get younger at corner. I would not be surprised if the Eagles go out and they draft a corner in the first round, and in the second round, they go after another corner. I really want that guy Gonzalez from Oregon. I feel like he would be Oregon. I feel like he would be a monster for us. I feel like, if you get him or you get Joey Porter Jr., I'm all for it. We need a tall cornerback. I'm tired of these small corners, man. Go out and get me, go out and get me Gonzalez from Oregon, the cornerback, if he's there at 10. If they're the best player, you take him. You know what I'm saying? We can draft a corner to learn from. No, I think Bradbury's walking. Bradbury's walking. I think Slade. I think if Slade does not get restructured or he doesn't take a restructured deal, I think we trade him. Or I think we take the cap and we'll take the cap hit and we release him because he's going to ask for a lot of money. And shot to Philly at halftime, he said this. I believe I don't think it's Georgia corner. I don't because I'm gonna tell you why. Because the Georgia corner is going to go. The Georgia corner is going to probably be gone by then. He's going to be the first one. Listen, he is the best corner coming out. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have a lot of corners in this draft, man. I think you're going to see a couple, two corners go in the first round. I can see the Lions taking one. I can see the Falcon. I think who else? Who else has the pick right here? Listen, you got the Houston Texans. I think they take Bryce Young. You got the Bears. Now there's rumors that they might trade Justin Fields. So I mean they might move up for the number one. But I feel like feel like there's gonna be two corners in the first round that are gonna be gone. I would not be surprised, like I said. I mean, we saw Sauce Gardner go in the first. We saw who was the other one that went top first? We saw another corner that Derek Stingley went in the first too. So I can see that. I think that if I have to put maybe Ringo will be there because I think maybe they'll take that Oregon kid. That kid is special, man. You know what I'm saying? That kid from Gonzalez from Oregon, that kid's special. I like his size, man. I feel like that we need that type of corner in Philadelphia. I don't want these small corners, man. I like Ringo, but I want that guy who's going to be able to knock that ball down. That's going to go toe-to-toe with these corners. If you look at our division, man, we need that big size corner, you know, because we need a physical corner that's going to be able to knock these balls down. And when you look at the receivers in the division, CeeDee Lamb is huge. I mean, CeeDee Lamb is tall. He's a lengthy receiver that goes up and gets the ball. You put another elite corner on him, a big size corner that's young. I'm just saying, good matchup over there. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I also like the guy from he's coming from Darius Slade's. I think he's coming from Darius Slade's school too. Forbes, Emmanuel Forbes. He's been nice too. Christian Gonzalez, that's the guy I want. Christian Gonzalez and Forbes. I would not mind having them, you know. And then you got Witherspoon. You got Witherspoon. I think he's okay, but I'm all for drafting a guy that's from the SEC. You know what I'm saying? The college football. I want a guy from Georgia. I want a guy from Oregon. I don't want these small school corners. Now, I think that dude from Witherspoon's nice, but give me the guy from Alabama. Give me the guy from Georgia. Give me the guy from Oregon. Those are guys are proven to be elite corners. Now, again, I mean, if we get the best corner, I'm all for it. I want to draft a corner. We have not had a corner that we drafted since Lito Shepherd in 2002. Sheldon Brown and Lito Shepherd were the only two corners that were actually drafted in the first and second round. So that would be nice to get a corner. The last corner we drafted that didn't work out was Sidney Jones in the second round. We need Lovie Smith. I would love Lovie Smith, man. I know a lot of people ain't a fan of him. They say his scheme don't work. I know my guy Bobby Murphy shot to him. He thinks that Lovie Smith Tampa 2 is bad. And a lot of people think that what you saw in the Texans was Lovie Smith. Let me tell you something. If you look at the Texans, they were not elite when it comes to talent on defense. They had, I think I like their safety from Oregon. Peachy. Yeah, he's a good safety over there. You know what I'm saying? They had Stanley. He was playing good over there. But it's different when you're a defense coordinator than just a head coach. If you're looking for competition, like Nick Saban always preach, compete, right? Lovie Smith is a competitor. And I believe if Lovie Smith had this type of defense that Jonathan Gannon had, I believe that he would be able to adjust and make it work. You know what I'm saying? I think Lovie Smith was in the wrong system in Texas. First of all, he was. Sorry about that. I clicked my phone. I clicked the wrong button. No, but I think Lovie Smith, if he had that talent that he had in Philadelphia, he would be legit. I think that Houston didn't give him anything. He was a scapegoat. They hired him because they wanted the Rooney rule. If you remember right, Gannon was supposed to be their head coach. It was nothing to do because they wanted him as a head coach. They wanted to stop the whole notion that the owner was racist. So they hired him because the Rooney rule. You know what I'm saying? They didn't hire him because they wanted him as a head coach. They wanted him because it would stop all the notion that their owner was racist. So he wanted to basically stop the fans from thinking that. So they hired Lovie Smith. And then when they told Lovie Smith that they wanted the tank, he basically screwed him. So they fired him. But he was getting fired regardless, man. Lovie Smith didn't even have a fair chance. He even had a quarterback, man. His quarterback is nothing like Jalen Hurts. Who was his quarterback again? Come on, man. And if you watch the Houston Texans, look how he did against the Philadelphia Eagles, man. In the first half, we struggled. He gets his defense prepared. He gets his defense fired up, man. I really think Lovie Smith will be a hell of a defense coordinator in Philadelphia. I know a lot of people don't want him because they say his scheme don't work. Look how many times he gets fired. Someone told me if you look at his stats, look at that, the fact that in 2 years we'd be tanking, or we get a better pick. Look at the teams he's been on. The Bears didn't have a good quarterback. The Buccaneers didn't have a good quarterback. They had who did they have? Mike Glennon, I believe. Look at the Houston Texans. Who was their quarterback? So again, Jalen Hurts would be the best thing for Lovie Smith because he wouldn't have to worry about his offense not clicking. He took Rex Grossman to a Super Bowl as a defense coordinator. I don't think he has to do that much, man. I know a lot of people don't want to hear Lovie Smith, maybe because Lovie Smith has a bad reputation. I get that. But I believe if Lovie Smith was in Philadelphia, I think that he would adjust quickly. You know what I'm saying? The Cardinals are the worst team in NFC West. Only team, yeah, they're not winning anytime soon. I would not be surprised if Gannon gets destroyed every week. They're going to be fine. Gannon. I don't see Gannon making it for 5 years. His contract getting ripped up by then. He's going to be on the hot seat soon. I'm not worried about it. We need Lovie Smith. I know. But listen, I mean, when I hear Nick Sirianni, man, they asked him, would you change up your scheme? He said, listen, I would love a guy like Gannon's scheme. But he also said, I would not mind changing up the scheme. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're Howie Roseman and you just told Gannon to go to interview, you know what I'm saying, to take the interview, you're going to want a new defense coordinator that's going to bring a new style. Why are you going to get Vance Joseph? Vance Joseph, just like Gannon, man. They said, well, he blitz. Not really. If you look at the Cardinals, man, they give them 38 points per game. I think that's the record. I think they give up 38 points a game. Now, again, it could be just the quarterback. Maybe Kyler Murray's just horrible. But when you look at it, every time Vance Joseph's been fired, what do they say? He gives up a lot of points, and he's not aggressive. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he changes, but I want Lovie Smith. I think Lovie Smith would get this defense back. I also would like to take a guy like Gus Bradley. I would love to see what he would do with this defense. He did with the Legion of Boom. I believe he was the defense coordinator over there with Dan Quinn. I think that you could give him a chance. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of options, man. But maybe you go out and get. I know a lot of people don't want to hear it, but Rex Ryan is getting interviewed as Denver a defense coordinator. Do you interview him in Philadelphia? You know what I'm saying? Jonathan Gannon lied. He said he did not know about his interview when the fans knew about the interview. No, Gannon was gone. I think Gannon was not going to leave Philadelphia. I think if Gannon won the Super Bowl, he would still be your defense coordinator. I think he was on the verge of getting fired. I think if I had my input, I think Howard Roseman told him, listen, you're not coming back, man. You might as well take that interview in Arizona, or you're not coming back to Philadelphia. That's how I think. If you know Howard Roseman's reputation, you just saw him. Listen, you just told a fan, F you, I won you a Super Bowl. Then you heard the rumors that he told Carson Wentz to get the F back in the field. Don't be surprised he cursed that Gannon. Howard Roseman was not happy if you saw his face after the Super Bowl. He was happy at first, but then when you saw the league going, he was not happy. Think about how much work he put in just for your defensive coordinator who said he needed stuff. You go out and you give him everything. And you can't even adjust. You can't even get one fucking tackle. Part of my language. You got to go, dude. You got to go. How many times have we said Gannon plays conservative? He respects so many quarterbacks. And there's going to be people in the comments talk about, well, Gannon didn't have this. No, I ain't trying to hear that. I ain't trying to hear that. Because I saw defense coordinators that weren't that didn't have Gannon's talent adjust. Hell, I saw Dan Quinn for the Cowboys adjust when he had one guy down, and he was still able to be aggressive. So I ain't trying to hear that, man. In this league, you got to be able to pin your ear back and go after the quarterback. You need to pressure these quarterbacks. You can't sit back and let Mahomes rip you apart and just stand there. These quarterbacks are getting better, man. And that's why I think Lovie Smith will be a hell of a defense coordinator, because I think you need this type of defense he brings. If you look at the Tampa 2 defense, you got to have the right defensive mind. And I believe if you get him the right players, I think he'd be perfect. Now, my guy Bobby Murphy, shout out to him. I was talking to him on Messenger yesterday on the phone, and he was telling me, oh, well, you're going to be upset because he's not going to have a Derrick Brooks. He don't need one, because I believe you can find one in the draft. You know what I'm saying? I think if we get Lovie Smith, I think Howard Roseman will go all the way to get him all these players. I think if you look at Howard Roseman, he wants that Super Bowl win. He wants a Lombardi trophy. He's going to try to run it up one more time. You know what I'm saying? I think that I think that we might see a couple players gone, but I feel like that we're going to be aggressive in this draft. I feel like if you're not going to listen, I'm going to tell you like this. I don't see the Eagles going out in free agency and getting huge players, man. You know how a lot of teams are going to be spending. I feel like you got to sign Jalen Hurts. I think that deal is coming soon. And I feel like we're going to sign C.J. Gardner-Johnson. We might bring T.J. Edwards back. I feel like the rest are going to walk. And I feel like that we're going I feel like you can make one move in free agency, but that's it. I feel like this is going to be a draft that Howard Roseman is going to address a lot of needs. You know what I'm saying? A lot of wants. I would not be surprised if Howard Roseman has one of his best. You thought last year was his best draft. I'm telling you right now, this is going to be his best draft right here. He has to ace this. You know what I'm saying? I believe in him. Listen, the way he's showed me, I don't have anything but faith in him, man. He showed me, he's proven to me that he's a great GM. And I think he's going to be aggressive in this draft. I think free agency is going to be just him signing guys back. Like C.J. Gardner-Johnson, I think gets extended. But I don't think we're going crazy in the free agency. I feel like a lot of teams are going to be crazy in free agency. And I think a lot of fans are going to say, what are we doing? Why are we not signing anybody? And I'm going to tell you like this. We're going to be aggressive more in the draft than free agency. I think that we're going to sign C.J. Gardner-Johnson and Jalen Hurts, and I think those are going to be the two moves we sign. And maybe T.J. Edwards. But I think a lot of players are going to be walking. You know what I'm saying? So I just want y'all to prepare for it, man. You know what I'm saying? This is going to be a quiet free agency. We're not going spending money like we did. I don't see us going crazy with free agency. You might see one or two moves, but it's not going to be what you think. A lot of teams you're going to see spend a lot of money because they got money. We're going to be worrying about the draft more. You know what I'm saying? So you're going to hear a lot of rumors that the Eagles are interested in this guy, the Eagles are interested in that guy. And you're going to hear a lot of names pop up. You know what I'm saying? You're going to hear a lot of names pop up. I'm sure you're going to hear a lot of rumors that these players are going to be guys the Eagles are going to target. Don't believe in the hype. Do not. You're going to hear a lot of trade talks with the Eagles and rumors. Don't believe the hype. The Eagles are not going to spend a lot of money in free agency. They're going to do a lot in the draft this year. Don't be surprised that players that you think can't get traded will get traded. I'm gonna give you one. I don't be surprised if Darius Slay gets moved. I said again, he's making a lot of money, and he's getting older. And I think that you got to go out. You got to get two corners in this draft. You got to come out with two corners. You got to come out with two corners, man. I feel like that this is going to be where I think you see two corners get drafted in Philadelphia. I think we're going to trade one of those picks, and I think if there's a corner in the second round, I think we go. You know what I'm saying? I can also see Howard Roseman moving around in this draft. If there's a pass rush, let's say for example, right, and I don't think it's going to happen, but let's say Jalen Carter falls. Eagles are going to draft him for sure. If one of those pass rushers fall, the Eagles are going to draft him. But there's a lot we're going to be talking about. And obviously, stay tuned. If you're new, subscribe for sure. Slay has a rough patch, but usually Slay isn't like that. We should give him another. No, I'm not giving him another year. No. Slay's going to be 32 years old, man. After Slay's contract back, I'm letting him walk. I'm not paying him. You're not going to have enough money to do that, though. You got to also think that, right? Because Jalen Hurts' contract is not going to kick in this year. It's going to kick in next year. His contract is not going to kick this year. It's going to kick next year. So you need to free a lot more space too, because we're going to have a lot of contracts that are going to be coming up the next 5 years down the road. You know what I'm saying? We're going to have a lot of contracts though. You got to think long term down the road. Darius Slay is not staying that long, man. I'll be lucky if I'll be shocked if he does not make it. If he makes it through this year. If he makes it through the trade deadline next year. Because this is going to be Howard Roseman's draft where he has to ace this. When you pay a guy like Jalen Hurts a lot of money, you don't got no more time to spend on free agency. You got to draft these guys. I'm not saying we should extend him yet. I'm talking about giving him another year on his. No, I'm letting him play out his deal and I'm letting him walk. Why am I going to? No, I'm not. I'm letting him walk. I'm letting him finish out his deal, and I'm letting him walk, because by then we should have our two corners in this draft that we're going to be grooming. You got to also understand something. We traded for a lot of corners in the previous years. We got a lot of corners on this team, man. So you got to understand, a lot of corners are going to get their shot. You traded for Kerry Vincent Jr., maybe not a great. You traded for the guy that you traded with Zach Ertz in exchange for the corner from Arizona that you traded with Zach Ertz. You know, you went out, you got McPherson. I'm not saying they're great, but you got a lot of corners on this team still. Yeah, Slay's 32, and I want to let him finish. No, I'm letting him walk after this year. I mean, after his deal's done. Or I might look to trade him. That way he can finish on another team's books or something like that. That way, if they like him, they can extend him. Maybe you get something back for him. This is a business. At the end of the day, I don't care about people's feelings. I don't care about people's hearts of what they want. This is a business. Sometimes you gotta make a tough sacrifice. Like I'm telling you right now, man. Listen, Miles Sanders is going to be the first one a lot of people are going to want back. I'm gonna tell you like this: Miles Sanders is not coming back. Miles Sanders is going to Buffalo, or I believe Miles Sanders will go to Buffalo. I believe Miles Sanders will go to Buffalo because his buddy DeMar Hamlin's over there. And if you don't know those two are pretty much really good friends over there. And I think that with Josh Allen, they're going to want to run it back. So Miles Sanders, I think, goes to Buffalo. I can see James Bradbury. I can see James Bradbury going somewhere like the Jets, maybe, or somewhere where a lot of space. Maybe Arizona. Maybe Jonathan Gannon overpays for him. You know what I'm saying? I think Miles Sanders goes to Kansas City. I think he goes to Buffalo. I think if you know Miles Sanders, man, he's going to want to go to somewhere where he's going to have a chance. I mean, Kansas City already has a running back. I don't see them paying for a running back. They're not going to have enough money for that, bro. Kansas City is not going to have enough money to pay Sanders, man. So I could see Buffalo taking him. Kansas City already has a running back, Pacheco and what's his name, Alaire. They got a running back over there. I think if you want to be real, I could see Sanders going to Buffalo. Buffalo is another fan base that's crazy about football, and now that he would get a lot of opportunities over there. You know what I'm saying? You got to understand something, man. Sirianni did not pick Miles Sanders. That was Doug Pearson's guy. That's another place where Sanders could go to. Jacksonville. Look at Jacksonville. He might want to go back to where Doug Peterson is. Doug Peterson was the guy who was coaching him in his first year. He might want to go to Jacksonville to play with his old coach Doug. I can also see Fletcher Cox going to Jacksonville too, because they're going to reunite. A lot of them are going to reunite with their former coaches. So don't be surprised. Cox and Graham can go too. You got to keep one of them, man. I think we bring Brandon Graham back on a veteran. Now, I think Brandon Graham retires. I think Fletcher Cox goes to Jacksonville. I'm going to make a case right now. I think Fletcher Cox goes to Jacksonville. I think he plays with his old coach, Doug Pearson. Or I could see him going to Andy Reid with the Chiefs. Miles Sanders could go to Tampa Bay too. Don't they got Lenny over there? I mean, yeah, but if you're Miles Sanders, do you want to go to a team that's going to be pretty much rebuilt? They don't even have a quarterback. Do you want to go somewhere to win, or it's all going to be about Miles Sanders. I think Miles Sanders is going to go to Buffalo. I think Buffalo's going to spend a lot of money on a running back. They don't got a running back over there. And I think Sean McDermott's on his last year of his pretty much his last time. Either he can get it done or he's gone. I think he's on the hot seat. A lot of people don't think so, but I think he's on the hot seat. The way he lost that playoff game in the snow, if he don't get the Buffalo Bills to at least an NFC Championship game or a Super Bowl, he's out of here. So I could see the Buffalo Bills spending a lot of money on a guy like Miles Sanders because he would be the running back that they could rely on. And I feel like LaShawn McCoy would tell them, hey, this is the guy that I think would be good over there. LaShawn McCoy has some ties in Buffalo too. And if you know a lot of running backs, they always go to Buffalo. You know what I'm saying? I won't be surprised if Sanders walk. No, Sanders is gone, bro. There's no way we're paying him. Sanders is not coming back here. I would be shocked if the Eagles bring him back. Sanders is going to want the bag. Sanders is not coming back here. And I really don't want Sanders back. Let me be real with you. Sanders don't fit Nick Sirianni's offense. I'm going to be real with you. The reason why we don't give Sanders the ball, because he does not fit Nick Sirianni's offense. Nick Sirianni likes a guy that can catch out the backfield, that can run through holes. That's a tough running back that runs through contact. If you look at him in Indianapolis, he loves those running backs that can run through defensive ends. Look at Jonathan Taylor. Look at Marlon Mack before they released him. Look at Nyheim Hines. Those guys were different. They weren't just running backs. They catch out the backfield. They were physical. Sanders is not like that. So again, the Eagles don't use Sanders because Nick Sirianni doesn't think he fits that offense. Sanders also fumbles. You can't have a guy that fumbles, man. And after that Super Bowl, I'm not paying him money, man. Sanders don't want the money. Sanders wants the money, bro. Listen, running backs in this league are only going to get one contract. Sanders is going to want to get paid, bro. Sanders is going to want the bag, man. Sanders is not staying here, man. We're not bringing him back. Sanders is going to go where the money is. Sanders is not staying here, man. Sanders is going to get as much as value as possible. He's only, 26 years old? Running backs don't last that long. You only get one contract from a running back. I mean, one contract as a running back. Look at the running backs that didn't get as much. Look how many running backs go out with injuries. You got to maximize as possible. You got to maximize as possible, or you're not going to last. Because running backs in this league are expendable. You think Sanders is playing 4 to 5, 6 more years? No. No, I would not be surprised if he goes to another team and gets hurt. Sanders came and stay healthy. This is the first time he's been healthy. Since his rookie year, this is the full season he's actually been healthy, man. That actually has been healthy and it's produced without getting injuries. Sanders is not coming back here, man. He's going to want the bag, and he's going to go somewhere else where the money is. Nah, said we don't. Oh, I said he's not. Don't worth the money. Oh, okay. I thought you said he wants the money. My fault. But some Eagle fans want to keep him. No, I mean, some Eagle fans got to understand this, man. You need to sign C.J. Gardner-Johnson. C.J. Gardner-Johnson is going to want the bag, bro. The Eagles are not going to be able to extend everybody. There's going to be a lot of players that you're going to say, why? Why did we let him go? Don't be surprised. Like I said, Brandon Graham don't retire. He's gone. He's not coming back. I think I think 2 people are getting signed that I know. C.J. Gardner-Johnson is going to get the bag from the Philadelphia's not letting him walk. He's a young player, 25. And I think Jalen Hurts gets signed. I think the rest are up in the air. T.J. Edwards, I think, might walk and get a bag. Kaiser White is walking. We're not signing him. Marcus Epps is gone. I don't think he gets the bag, and he's a backup type safety. I don't think Saquon will be coming back to us. I mean, I don't see how the Giants let him go, though. That's been their whole offense. But maybe, yeah. Listen, I'm not paying no running back top money. You can find another running back in this draft, man. Listen, there is so many running backs in this draft class that literally are going to be legit. Running backs are expendable now. It's not the old days where you pay a running back top money. No. Look at the Cowboys. How's that working out for them? They're going to have to release Zeke to sign Pollard, man. They're in trouble to even have any money. You know what I'm saying? So they need to sign. They need money. They need money. Or they're going to be bad. Isn't Trayvon Diggs' contract coming up? Wasn't he drafted in 2020? 2021, 22. His contract might be coming up soon. So they need money for him. They're not letting him walk. That's what I'm saying. Cowboy fans don't realize their team's going to be in cap hell. Because they are going to have to either release Zeke or he's going to take a huge pay cut. You know what I'm saying? My guy Bobby Murphy was telling me that too. Shout out to him. I'm going to give him credit. I'm not going to take someone's words and say I came up with them. I'm always going to give him credit. Kaiser Graham can go. I love them, but yeah. I think Brandon Graham goes to Arizona. I think Brandon Graham goes to Arizona again. I can see that happening. I also see Brandon Graham might go to Jacksonville with Doug. Or I can see him go to Kansas City to try to win one more ring. I can also see him go to Denver. Listen, I mean, not Denver. Denver don't even think have cap space. I don't know. I'm not sure. See Lamb's contract coming up too. Yeah. And listen, they need money. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is, man. I'm not worried about the Cowboys. I'm worried about my Eagles. Miles Sanders could go to Tampa too. Yeah. But I believe Sanders is going to go to Buffalo. I think he's going to play with his boy DeMar Hamlin. I think DeMar Hamlin recruits Sanders. I think Sanders gets something crazy like a 5-year deal, 25 point, something crazy. I think he gets the bag in Buffalo. I think Sanders goes to Buffalo. I think that he's going to get money from the Buffalo Bills because they are going to want to run the ball. And the fact that I think that Sean McDermott is going to be desperate because he's going to either help this team or he's fired. Listen, Sean McDermott's on the hot seat. A lot of people don't want to admit it. He's on the hot seat. The Buffalo Bills have a roster, and yet they can't get past an NFC Championship game. How many times do you think coach is going to last? If you can't get past the big game, you're gone. I'm sorry. It's about what you've done for me lately. It's about how you've grown from last year. And if you can't get past the hump with a quarterback like Josh Allen, you're not going to last as a head coach. And I think Buffalo Bill fans are going to get frustrated. When you lose, you start hearing this. You start hearing chirping. You start hearing that. You start hearing rumors. When you lose and you don't succeed, the chirping starts getting bigger and it starts getting louder. And eventually it starts getting out of hand. So again, man, I think Sanders goes to Buffalo. I could see Sanders going to Buffalo because I feel like Buffalo is a good place for him. And I feel like he would give Josh Allen a bell cow to rely on, even though I don't think it's bell cow, but I think he would fit Buffalo. It's going to suck because I think he's going to be good over there. But again, man, I would not be surprised if he can't stay healthy over there either. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. I said Keith Slay for one more year, not to extend him. I mean, like I said, man, like, listen, man. I know we want to keep Slay, bro, but I'm gonna tell you like this. I would not be surprised if the Philadelphia Eagles trade Darius Slay this offseason. Just because I don't think they're going to be able to keep him because of the money situation. You got to understand something, man. Darius Slay is not the same Darius Slay. I'm sorry, I'm gonna be real with you. He's not the same player. He's getting older. And you saw the Super Bowl, man. He can't cover it like he used to. That is why it was so important to get Slay before he got older, man. When we were trying to trade for him before, we wanted him then because now he's catching up, man. I mean, I think he's a great player. I mean, when he wants to be, but I feel like in this draft, it's going to be on heavy corner. I think we're going. He was already reportedly they're going all defense. And if you listen to Harry Roseman's conference, Harry Roseman said we want to be back in the Super Bowl, but it's going to be hard, and we got to do it. So, and if you listen to Harry Roseman's press conference, he also said we're going to have to make some tough decisions based on how we do it because of the salary. They're not keeping everybody, and there's going to be a lot of players that we don't think can go. You know what I'm saying? Fox Slay's a little washed. In fact, Slay's a little washed. Yeah, I wouldn't say washed, man. I mean, again, Jonathan Gannon's defense, man, was so bad, bro. Like I'm trying to think that is it going to be Slay that was bad or was it Jonathan Gannon? Because when Slay was pressing up on his receivers, he was able to dominate. Look what he did to Justin Jefferson. He was a lockdown corner. And I feel like Jonathan Gannon did not help him either. You know what I'm saying? I would love to give him another shot with another defense coordinator. Maybe he can use him right. But again, he is making so much money. And if let's say the Eagles say you need to take a pay cut, and he says no, you got to trade him. You got to make the best decisions for your business, man. If the Eagles ask Slay to take a pay cut and he doesn't, because you never know with Slay. Slay might say, "I'm not taking a pay cut. I'm not taking a pay cut. Why am I taking a pay cut? I'm not doing that." You never know how players are going to react. Now, I hope he takes a pay cut because I feel like if we can restructure Slay's deal, we have enough more money to sign players. You got to understand something. It's not about just this year. It's about the next few years down the road. You got a lot of players that you got to pay down the road. I mean, we're not worried about this year to sign everybody. But you got a lot of players, and Jalen Hurts' contract does not kick. If we pay him, which I think he might get 40 to, I heard he might get 45 million to 50, depending what the contract is. It's not going to kick this year. It's going to kick from 2 years down the road. So it's starting the following year, 2024 season is when it's going to kick in. When you pay a quarterback, man, you are going to make some sacrifices that you don't want. Like you're going to have to trade a lot of players that we may not see coming just to help our situation. And I feel like Darius Slay is going to be the guy that's going to be the odd man out. Now, again, if Darius Slay don't get traded, that's fine. I'm not saying he might get traded. I'm saying I will not be shocked if he gets traded, man. Because if you look at the salary, man, we have to rely on this draft this year. This is why it's going to be the biggest draft that Hal Roseman has to ace. If you don't ace this draft, your team is going to be bad for a while because you're not going to be able to sign free agents because Jalen Hurts' contract is going to be taken over for that. You're going to have to pay a lot of players down the road. You know what I'm saying? So again, man, there's a lot of things that we're going to be talking about. That's why it's going to be a fun offseason, fun draft. I can't wait. The combine is coming soon. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is, man. We definitely getting rid of Sanders. Sanders is gone, dude. It's not the fact that we're getting rid of Sanders. Sanders is a free agent this year. Sanders is not coming back. Sanders is not coming back, bro. Not unless he takes a 1-year deal or a cheap deal. He's not taking that. He's going to want the bag. Sanders is not coming back. I'm going to tell you who's not coming back. Miles Sanders, you can forget it's not coming back. Kazir White's not coming back. TJ Edwards might not be coming back. Javon Hargrave is probably not coming back. Not unless he asks for a cheap deal. Bradbury is sure hell not coming back. He's going to want the bag. Marcus Epps is not coming back. I think Boston Scott might not be coming back. There's going to be a lot of players that are not going to be wanting to come. That are not going to be able to come back. That you're not going to be able to bring them back. We're going to lose a lot of players, man. Because I think if you sign C.J. Gardner-Johnson, you're not signing James. You can't sign James Bradbury and C.J. Gardner-Johnson. You got to pick one. I'm not paying a 30-year-old. No, I'm not. I'm paying the 25-year-old C.J. Gardner-Johnson. I want C.J. Gardner-Johnson here. He's younger, and he's more down the road future piece. You know what I'm saying? If Sanders comes back, I'm not going to be mad, but Howie Roseman does not pay running backs. And I'm not paying a running back that we're not really going to use. Nick Sirianni does not believe Sanders fits that offense, bro. I'm going to tell you like this. Nick Sirianni did not draft Sanders. Look at Sanders, man. He was a Doug Peterson piece, man. I can also see Sanders going to Jacksonville, too. Listen, I mean, if you look at the connection, man, Sanders to Doug Peterson makes so much sense, bro. I don't know what their cap space is. I don't know how they're doing over there, but if they have enough money, they could definitely pick up Sanders. You know what I'm saying? So again, I mean, there's a long ways away. We better not pay Sanders top dollar? I don't think we will. No, I'd rather pay CJ and draft a cornerback. I think CJ Gardner-Johnson is the guy that you have to sign, man. You know what I'm saying? And again, man, unless, and we don't want to hear unless some crazy team, like what we saw Christian Kirk, where we're paying him a whole bunch of money, decides to go after CJ Gardner-Johnson. Let's say Jesse Bates gets signed by the Bengals again. Let's say the Bengals sign him again. And they say they signed to a big deal before free agency. CJ Gardner-Johnson is going to get a lot of interest from teams. So unless a crazy team comes out, unless a crazy GM or a nutcase decide to pay him a whole bunch of money because they're on their hot seat. Shout out to my guy, Bobby Murphy. He told me this yesterday, and I didn't want to believe it. Unless someone comes out with a crazy amount of money for CJ, I think he stays. But but Howard Roseman's not going to pay him. If someone offers him more than a 5-year deal, something crazy, you got to walk, bro. I like CJ Gardner-Johnson, but I'm not overpaying for a safety. You know what I'm saying? I'll pay him what he needs. But if someone, you never know what teams overpay for players, man. Look at DJ. Look at Christian Kirk. Look how much they paid him. Look how much Marcus Williams got. They got the bag, man. Marcus Williams got a bag. He is set for life in Baltimore. So again, man, like unless CJ Gardner-Johnson gets that type of money, I'm not paying him a boatload. I'll pay him what he's worth. I think Howard Roseman has a set where he's gonna either say, "Hey, take this," or you're going. It's up to CJ, man. You know what I'm saying? I want him here, but we'll see. Sign Hurts and CJ. I think Hurts gets the. I believe Jalen Hurts' contract's coming soon. I would not be surprised to see Jalen Hurts gets a contract before free agency because they're going to have to sign him. Listen, I mean, you just heard it. Joe Burrow might be getting the contract soon. You know, you're going to have a lot of players getting contracts. The biggest one that I'm watching out for is Justin Herbert. I mean, he's eligible to be signed soon. I mean, listen, I mean, you're going to have a lot of players that are going to be signed, man. You know, every time a quarterback makes more money and gets signed to a big deal, the money for these quarterbacks go up. So when you look at Jalen Hurts' contract, you're going to think it's big. But really, to be honest, I'm going to say this again. It's going to be a bargain because as teams sign to bigger quarterbacks to bigger amount, the value goes way up. So you would think Jalen Hurts is getting a lot of money, but really, if you want to be real, it's not. Because eventually, in 2 to 3 years, that contract's going to be a bargain. You're going to say, wow, this wasn't that bad. You know what I'm saying? Because that contract's going to look big and might sound like, and listen, it's going to be a lot for sure. You're going to think it's a lot that we overpaid for him. There's going to be a lot of fans that are going to say, well, we overpaid for him. He's not worth that type of money. But if you look at it, as the value goes up for quarterbacks, the money goes up too. So again, like the amount of quarterbacks make only going to get bigger and bigger. So it's going to be a bargain if we pay Jalen Hurts now because it might sound like a lot to you, but it's going to go up. So again, I think Jalen Hurts gets signed, and I think it's going to be about to 40 to 50 million. I think it's going to be up to something like that. 45. I heard 45 to 45 million, something like that. It might sound like a lot, but it's going to be a bargain if you want to be real down the road because quarterbacks are going to get more than that. Listen, quarterbacks are making. Listen, they're making more than they're making the same amount as MLB players, bro. They're going to be making so many. They're going to be making more than MLB players soon, man. The quarterback value is going up now, especially these days, man. That's what I'm saying. Imagine we stand Hurts for 10 years. Again, if you got a franchise quarterback, you got to pay him. Now, people say, well, you remember when we stand Carson Wentz and it didn't work out? Listen, Carson Wentz was also a weak-minded minded guy. And Carson Wentz is not Jalen Hurts. If Jalen Hurts gets the bag, he's never going to stop wanting to get better. He's never going to want to stop getting better. He's never going to want to stop getting better. The kid is always going to want to get better. He's always going to want to get to be to the top. And I think the kid is hungry, even more going to be hungrier down the road. The kid is nothing like Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz was weak-minded. People talk about, well, he had an injury. That's why. No, that's not why he didn't succeed. A lot of players come back from ACL injuries. You guys got to work on your mechanics. Carson Wentz didn't want to. You remember the whole Press Taylor rumors? I mean, we don't want to go back, but remember the Press Taylor? Why Press Taylor didn't want to teach Carson Wentz? Press Taylor is now the Jacksonville, I believe, offense coordinator. He's doing good over there. Remember we shit on Press Taylor, but the problem was number 11 always Carson Wentz. So again, if we pay Jalen Hurts, I think that Jalen Hurts is going to take this team all the way. We got our superstar quarterback, man. You know what I'm saying? Carson didn't care about anybody. No, he didn't. Carson Wentz wasn't a winner. Carson Wentz didn't do what Jalen Hurts did. Carson Wentz wouldn't go toe-to-toe with Mahomes, bro. He wouldn't have. Jalen Hurts went toe-to-toe with Patrick Mahomes, bro. After that, you got to pay him. You know what I'm saying? And I believe that Jalen Hurts is a special talent at quarterback. If you redid this draft, I still think Jalen Hurts is a first round pick. I don't think Jalen Hurts would have been a Philadelphia Eagle. I think that the Miami Dolphins would actually take Jalen Hurts right now over Tua. Just being real. Because look at him now. He only dropped because people didn't know what he was. But he almost won the Heisman. Joe Burrow won, I believe, the Heisman. Didn't Joe Burrow win the Heisman? I think he did. That year when he had the great college year in LSU. So again, man, like if we pay Jalen Hurts, man, I believe he's worth it. And I believe that Jalen Hurts didn't have that. If Jalen Hurts had that year and he would have won the Heisman, I don't think he would have been a Philadelphia Eagle, man. I think he would have went early than he did. Like what I said, I wish my team doesn't win the Super Bowl. Like who says I wish my team doesn't win the Super Bowl? What do you tell me? Who said that? Bro did win the Heisman. Okay, I was just making sure. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to sound like I don't know what I'm talking about. That's why I asked, man. You know what I'm saying? But no, like again, man, like it's gonna come down to Jonathan Gannon, and it's gonna come down to everything like that, man. I mean, not Jonathan Gannon. What the hell am I saying? It's gonna come down to how much we're gonna give Jalen Hurts, bro. I feel like that's a bargain. I'm so obsessed with Jonathan Gannon. I forgot he's not my fault. You know what I'm saying? I believe the Philadelphia Eagles are going to extend Jalen Hurts to probably like 45 to 50 million. He's going to get around to that, you know, but it's going to be a bargain if you want to be rode down the road. You know, a lot of people say, well, it's going to be a lot of money. Oh, we're not going to have enough money. Counselors, listen, we got Howard Roseman. You know, it's so funny. I hear all these Dan Silios, these guys, and I was listening to them today, and I really don't listen to them, you know, because I don't listen to the guy, you know, and he was telling me that Jalen Hurts is nothing like Russell Wilson. Okay. If you remember right, Russell Wilson, when he first came out, Russell Wilson wasn't Russell Wilson like he is now. Russell Wilson was not a pocket passer in Seattle when he first came out. He was a running quarterback. But as he started to groom and also got better, he's gotten better with his arm and his accuracy. Not his arm, his accuracy. And he also stood in the pocket more. Like, people don't understand, like, when you draft a guy in the second round, you're technically supposed to allow him to sit back and learn. And I believe even if Carson Wentz had a great year and was an attitude problem, I do think that Jalen Hurts would still have been a starter. People say, well, he's a backup quarterback. We drafted him to be a backup. No, we didn't. You don't draft a guy in the back. You don't draft a guy in the second round as a backup, man. If anybody thinks that Howard Roseman drafted Jalen Hurts as a backup, you're wrong. I know a lot of people say, well, it's so much easier to draft a guy in the second round as a backup quarterback. No, Jalen Hurts was not a backup quarterback, though. And that's why a lot of Eagle fans got upset at the time. Not a lot, but there's a lot of people who did. They didn't hate the play, they hated the pick. Because he was a starter, man. You got to understand, Jalen Hurts was a starter. He was not a backup. That's what people fail to realize, man. He was not supposed to be, he was not going to be a backup. Everybody in the mock draft picked them to be a starter. They mocked him to every team that needed a quarterback, not as a backup. Because if you looked at Jalen Hurts, man, he wanted to be a starter. And unfortunately, we had a start at the team. That was a replacement for Carson Wentz. They saw he was not the same quarterback. They said he couldn't be able to take this team all the way. They didn't think he was the future going forward. And Howard Roseman made sure his contract was able to be traded. You know what I'm saying? And we found a way to trade him because we had a quarterback that we drafted. You don't understand, man. That's why a lot of people are upset when people say, well, he was a backup. No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't. That's why they were laughing in the draft room, man. Because they knew that he was a starter. Jalen Hurts was not supposed to fall that far, man. Everybody except a couple people had him going early. A lot of people didn't think he was going to Philly. Hell, New England, he would have been a starter over there. Day one. That's why I was so frustrated when they drafted him. We didn't hate the player. We hated the pick. Now I started getting used to him because I knew Carson Wentz was going to go. People say, well, Jalen Hurts was a back. No, he wasn't. If you wanted to draft a backup, you go in the third round, you draft a backup. You don't draft a guy with a 42 overall pick in the second round. You don't do that in the early second round. We pass up on Jeremy Chin, we pass up on elite talent for Jalen Hurts, man. Jalen Hurts was not going to be a backup. He was not going to be as a backup. If Carson Wentz had a great year, he still would have been traded. I'm telling you, he was supposed to learn from Carson Wentz so he can start in the final. You remember when Mahomes learned from Alex Smith? The same with Matthew, I believe Hasselback made Russell Wilson learn from him, or the other dude. Was it Matthew? Was it Matt Hasselback? I forget the guy's name. Who was the Seahawks quarterback before Russell Wilson was the future. That's what was supposed to happen. Doug Peterson, I'm sorry, Howie Roseman wanted a franchise quarterback, a young franchise quarterback, because he saw Mahomes, he saw Russell Wilson, he saw all these young quarterbacks. He said, "I want a quarterback like that." And if you remember right, and I don't mean to overtalk, but if you remember right, they had what was the show in 2019? All or Nothing, right? Where they showed Howie Roseman when Russell Wilson threw that pass. He was like, "Whoa, that's a hell of a throw," and his quarterback was fumbling everywhere. Howie Roseman was going to draft a quarterback because he wanted what Seattle had. When you say you can't pass up on Russell Wilson, come on, man. I mean, listen, I joked about it before, and I used to go after him, but listen, this was Howie Roseman before. This was Howie Roseman.
Well, everybody knows our priority on quarterbacks, Tim. You know, we're obviously a quarterback. What's the word about factory? Yes. So I think that it's a priority for us, and you know, we're always going to invest in that position. And we had a chance to talk to Jalen and to Joe too, and tell them that we thought it was an opportunity to get a good player, a good person, and at an important position, and certainly.
Yeah, that was not a backup, man. When you talk highly like that, man, that's a franchise quarterback. And by the way, I love that quote, man. You know, I used to hate it back then. I used to clown him. But when you look at it now, Howie Roseman was a genius. He didn't care what I think. He didn't care what anybody else think. He saw something that I don't think anybody saw. And that was we didn't have the right quarterback, man. We didn't have the right quarterback. And now we got one. You know what I'm saying? Sarah was actually interested in getting Mahomes. I'm sure they were. Who do you think is better, Burrow or Hurts? Hurts is way better than Burrow, man. Burrow is not. Burrow, let me tell you something. Burrow is not. I believe Burrow is a good quarterback for what the Bengals want, but I believe Jalen Hurts is a special quarterback. Like there's different kinds of quarterback. Like I'm not taking nothing from Burrow. Burrow is a great quarterback, but Jalen Hurts is just way better in my opinion because Jalen Hurts can do a lot that you see like what Mahomes can do, and you know a lot of people think he's good, but I don't think he's good. Watson, you know, because I don't think Watson's as good as people think. But you look the young when Watson was in Houston, you know, he's way better than those guys. You know, I think he's better than Josh Allen. I've been saying Jalen Hurts is the top two quarterback. If you're going to put him top three, then okay, but top four we got to discuss because I don't think he's. I think he's top three. I think he's top two, but a lot of people want to put him top three. They want to say Josh Allen. I think Jalen Hurts is better than Josh Allen. And people told me I was crazy. They told me I was crazy. Am I crazy now to think that? Because Josh Allen hasn't done what Jalen Hurts did. If Josh Allen had to go toe to toe with Jalen Hurts, toe to toe with Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl. Listen, we saw him in the NFC Championship doing it, maybe, but Jalen Hurts did something that Josh Allen can't do. Go to Super Bowl winning. Josh Allen's a turnover machine. Josh Allen's careless with the football. They talk about Josh Allen has no offensive line. It's not true. because no quarterback surviving. No quarterback is not going to an NFC Championship game without an offensive line. Name me a quarterback that has no offensive line. Hell, I mean, I think the Bengals had a better offensive line this year than they had last year. Is it great? No, but it was better than what it was before. You know, last year a lot of people complained about the offensive guard. Remember, what's the name? Cam Jurgensen. You remember, and a lot of people were, including me, was upset about Landon Dixon. I'm so glad that they didn't listen to me because look at the offensive line now. Yeah, you got to put some more pieces around. You know, maybe you lose Isaac Samal. I think Isaac Samal is getting in the bag too. I don't think he's coming back. But look at the offensive line. That's why it was so important to get these offensive line pieces. Now you see why we have an offensive line. You win football games like that, man. Our quarterback's protected. That's your first investment is to protect your quarterback. And I think that with the offensive line, man, I believe that this offensive line is so good that our quarterback's going to be protected for a long time. You know, and I believe that Jalen Hurts is more comfortable with that offensive line, and that's why you saw him take a jump. You know, Joe Burrow is Jim Kelly. Um, I believe that Josh Allen's more Jim Kelly. I'm gonna tell you why. Josh Allen will not. Yeah, I mean Joe Burrow might be a Jim Kelly, but I can also say Josh Allen's a Jim Kelly. You know, the thing with Jim Kelly was Jim Kelly. Jim Kelly was a good quarterback, but he didn't know how to. I believe if you give Burrow an offensive line, I think he would win a Super Bowl. I think their offensive line in Cincinnati is horrible. You remember when they took Jamar Chase, who's a good receiver, but again, when you took him over Penei Sewell, the offensive tackle, yeah, it was a flashy receiver for sure. Might look great, but now you have no offensive line to help Joe Burrow. That's why when that's why when you see teams like the Eagles go to the Super Bowl, and I don't think Jalen Hurts got touched once. I don't think he got sacked once. I think he only was able to get stripped. I think he had a fumble, but I don't think Jalen Hurts was touched once. Kansas City Chiefs didn't even touch Jalen Hurts, I don't think. That's why it was so important to get offensive line around Jalen Hurts. Look at the great quarterbacks. Even Patrick Mahomes is offensive line. You know, if Joe Burrow has an offensive line, I think he wins a couple of Super Bowls. I do. I think Joe Burrow just don't have offensive line. They're going to kill him in Cincinnati, man. I'm going to be real with you, bro. If they don't get him an offensive line, man, he's not going to make it because he's not going to be able to guy that's going to be able to stay in place like Jalen Hurts. I mean, he could run, but he's not going to be able to do what Jalen Hurts does, and he's not going to be able to do what Patrick Mahomes does or Josh Allen, where he's able to escape out the pocket and make throws. He's not going to be able to do it. He is a guy that needs an offensive line, but I believe that Cincinnati don't give him an offensive line, you know, and that goes back to a lot of bad organizations that has great talent. You know, I think Cincinnati is good because of Joe Burrow. I think Joe Burrow makes them better. I think if Joe Burrow's not there, I don't think they go to an NFC Championship game. I don't think they go to a Super Bowl. And I think that Joe Burrow lost the Super Bowl was not because of him. I think he lost the Super Bowl because of his head coach. His head coach did not want to run the ball. Same with Nick Sirianni, basically. Listen, I put some blame on Nick Sirianni too. Nick Sirianni did not stick to his game plan, you know, when it came to defense. Now, his offense was fine. But again, a lot of people don't understand he don't control the defense. So I mean, I don't know, man. I don't think Joe Burrow is a bad quarterback. I don't think he's Jim Kelly. I think Joe Burrow just needs an offensive line. I think he would be legit. I think he's more of a paint, maybe a Peyton Manning. I don't know. I don't know. See, you know, Joe Burrow is the only reason why they're good. Yeah, yeah, I do. Now, don't get me wrong. Jamar Chase is a freaking star. You know, I honestly I wanted him over Devontae Smith. You know what I'm saying, at the time. I would take Devontae Smith. I like Devontae Smith now, and I would take him over Jamar now. But no, I don't even know. I mean, Jamar is a star, bro. Jamar is a freaking beast, bro. Like, honestly, like, people don't understand, but Jamar Chase made Joe Burrow elite in college too. Jamar Chase, I've been saying, was the reason why Justin Jefferson was getting open a lot in college. If you look at Jamar Chase, man, he is a number one receiver. He's their number one guy. You know what I'm saying? But now when you look at it, look how they are now. You took a receiver over offensive line. I think in Detroit, Penn became a good offensive lineman in Detroit. He's one of the best, I believe, coming out. That's good at his position. Again, when you look back at it, is it worth taking Jamar Chase over an offensive line? Yeah, it's flashy, but was it worth it? Was it worth it not helping your quarterback? Yeah, because in the long term, look at it. Yeah, Jamar Chase is a nice receiver for the Bengals. And maybe him and Joe Burrow are friends over there. But if I was the Bengals, I wouldn't have taken Jamar Chase. I would have taken the offensive tackle to help my quarterback. You know what I'm saying? But the Bengals took a receiver. And now they're paying for it because they don't got an offensive line to help them out. You know what I'm saying? We're blessed to have. I mean, we are spoiled to have an offensive line around the quarterbacks. Every time the Eagles had a quarterback, they always had an offensive line around him. Even McNabb had an offensive line. Carson Wentz had an offensive line. Nick Foles, I believe, had an offensive line. Sam Bradford, I think, had an offensive line. Jalen Hurts is an offensive line. We always had an offensive line around the quarterbacks. A lot of teams don't have that, you know? But I'm glad we didn't get Jefferson now. I'm going to tell you like this, man. And I've been saying this, and people ain't going to like this. And a lot of people ain't going to disagree with me. I think that Justin Jefferson is overhyped. They're going to say, what are you talking about, EC1? Why would you say that? I'm going to tell you why. He's good in regular season games. When you need him the most in playoff games, he doesn't show up. Look at the games where you needed him the most. Perfect example, the Giants game in the divisional round. This is where your star going to come. Now, again, Kirk Cousins is trash, bro. I'm not going to put too much on him. You know what? No, I don't think he's overhyped, bro. Because he's been the best receiver since Diggs left. I mean, he's been the whole offense. So I wouldn't say he's overhyped. No, I take that back. Sorry, that was stupid of me. I just think Kirk Cousins is horrible, bro. I feel like if you get Justin Jefferson a good quarterback, I feel like he would be dominant in this league. I think he would cause a lot of problems. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like the Vikings have a trash bin quarterback, man. Kirk Cousins is garbage. I mean, he is a definition of a sorry regular season backup at the most who got paid way too much, man. Let's be real. If we had Jefferson, wouldn't be no. And people don't understand. Everybody talking about it. And I had some coworkers in my work before, right, telling me, "Oh, if we got Justin Jefferson, we could have got Devontae." No, because if we got Justin Jefferson, we wouldn't need a receiver because we already have one. Just like if people tell me, "Well, we got DK and Jefferson, we would have had both." No, because if we got DK and Metcalf, we wouldn't need a receiver. If you got a Metcalf instead of JJ, you wouldn't have to go back again and get another receiver because you already would have your guy. The reason why the Eagles drafted Devontae Smith and traded for AJ Brown was, number one, because JJ was supposed to be the guy and couldn't get it done. You had Rager, he didn't work out. You drafted Devontae Smith. But then JJ didn't live up to the potential. So then you had to go and get AJ Brown. It goes up to, they wanted help for Devontae Smith. And they realized Rager wasn't the guy. If Rager works out, man, and Rager is the guy, listen, you're probably not trading for AJ Brown. You're probably not drafting. You probably still draft Devontae Smith because he was the best player on the board. But I don't think that you would get AJ Brown, man, because Jalen Rager would be the guy, but he wasn't. You know, so that's why we got AJ Brown, man. That's why we were desperate for a receiver. You know, and honestly, I'd rather have AJ Brown and Devontae over Jefferson. Give me AJ Brown and Devontae Smith together over Jefferson. It might sound unrealistic, but listen, I'm taking AJ Brown and Devontae Smith right now. Not what they were before, but right now. To me, they are the best receiver combo in the NFL. Devontae Smith put up a performance in the Super Bowl, man. Since we got Devontae Smith, he and AJ Brown have been cooking. You know what I'm saying? Devontae Smith would have been in John. Yeah, and that would not be good, man. That would not be good. Devontae Smith would have scared the hell out of me because Devontae Smith would have been another. Devontae Smith would have been a freaking star with the Giants, bro. Because he would have Daniel Jones would definitely have a weapon right over there. You know what I'm saying? I'm not. I'm glad he's an Eagle, man. Honestly, I don't know if Devontae Smith would be successful with the Giants, but then again, he was a hell of a receiver, man. Of course, I'd rather have two very good receivers over one very good. Yeah, I mean, listen, in the draft, I wanted. I ain't gonna lie to you, and a lot of people ain't gonna like this, but I didn't want Justin Jefferson at the time. Now, when you look at it, I'm glad. I wouldn't mind it if Howard Roseman did draft him because who's listening to me? I'm not expert. I'm not Mel Kiper. I'm not Daniel Jeremiah. None of these guys. Not like saying they're experts. They're not. But I looked at the fact that he was a slot receiver, and I thought he only could play slot. I was wrong. You know what I'm saying? Because I looked at, okay, Jamar Chase is the number one receiver, and Justin Jefferson played the number one receiver. And I wanted CeeDee Lamb, or I wanted Henry Ruggs or Jerry Jeudy. Those are my three. Unfortunately, we didn't get them. We got Rager. And when you first saw Rager, man, you know, I knew about him, but I didn't think he was going to be an Eagle. I thought he was a day number 2. I didn't think he was number 1 pick. But CeeDee Lamb was the guy that I wanted. You know, CeeDee Lamb was the guy I wanted, bro. And you see why I wanted him. Look at him in Dallas. You know, he's became a number 1. Listen, I feel bad for him, you know, because he was everything I wanted, bro. I liked his physical ability, the way he went up and got the ball. And I wanted him, and Dallas took him, you know. But you also got to understand, the Eagles could have traded up. That's what I'm saying. The Eagles wanted Jalen Hurts so much that they were not willing to give the Falcons the second round pick. If they gave them the second and the first, they could have moved up, but they didn't want to. You know, that's how I knew that they didn't believe in Carson, that I thought Jalen Hurts was their guy going forward. You know, it is what it is. I think we still, but listen, man, back to the subject, bro. I believe that the Philadelphia Eagles are going to be very quiet and free agency. I think that you sign C.J. Gardner-Johnson and Jalen Hurts. Maybe you see one more move coming, but I think that the Philadelphia Eagles are going to be very heavy in this draft. I think Howard Roseman is going to go crazy in this draft. I really do. You know, I do think the Eagles are going to trade back, and one of those picks is going to be traded back for multiple picks down the road because we're not keeping 2 first-round picks. You know what I'm saying? If you know Howard Roseman's not keeping 2 first-round picks this year, he's going to trade one. You already know how he does. He's going to trade one either for this year or the following year, you know, because we got a lot of things to look forward to. I mean, listen, you never know with Howard Roseman. I'm not going to be sitting there saying we got 2 first-round picks because we really don't. The Eagles are going to trade one for a future down the road. You already know Howard Roseman. You know how. Listen, I would not be surprised if we trade those 2 first-rounders for a bunch of down the road. Depends what he does. Listen, I trust Howard Roseman. I know I've been clowning him for years, but I'm not going to do that anymore because, listen, he showed me that he was willing to change. And I can accept that, you know. So, you know, before a lot, because I see a lot of people in my comments, I see once in a while people in the comments say, well, I miss the Howard Roseman hate videos. I don't miss those. I don't miss those. I don't like doing that. You know what I'm saying? You think I like criticizing my GM? No, because I go against my fan base too. You gotta understand, some of my fan base hated me for that. A lot of fan base did not like that. You're going against Howard Roseman. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? YouTubers I went after over that, over the debate? No, I don't want that. You know, I'm glad Howard Roseman's doing his job. I'm glad I can trust him. I'm glad I can call my favorite GM. You know, I don't want to be the Howard Roseman hater. I don't want to do that. That's not fun for me. You know what I'm saying? That's not fun for me. It might be fun for you, but it's not fun for me. It's also really boring too. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Howie proved us all wrong, especially when he dropped the job. But not only that, man, like you gotta understand, Howie Roseman, listen, Howie Roseman went out and got us to a Super Bowl. He might have not won it because again, Jonathan Gannon, because he brought everything that he said he would do, right? And I do believe the Eagles are trying to get back to another. So I believe that they're going to aim for Vegas this year. That is the thing. I believe that is going to be the goal. But again, I mean that's down the road. But I believe this Eagles team right now is going to have a heavy in this draft this year because they're going to lose a lot of players in free agency. Listen, we're going to lose a lot of players that we don't want to lose, and I just want y'all to prepare for it, man. You know what I'm saying? We got 5 people in the chat. Hit that like button, man. We're just talking. You know, let's talk about the offseason. Why would Eagle fans like bashing their gym? I mean, I get comments all the time. "Oh, I miss these Howard Roseman hate videos. Why don't you do them anymore? Why? Why would I do them? You know what I'm saying? There's no point in doing them. You know what I'm saying? Howard Roseman proved that he's a good GM. You know what I'm saying? Also, I don't like those videos, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't like those videos. A, for one, they don't make me look professional. Number two, I mean, I don't think anybody else other than some people want to hear me talk about Howard Roseman's an I don't think people want to hear that. So again, I mean, I'm glad Howard Roseman did the right thing. He's proven me wrong. It is what it is. But I always get comments, weird comments like that, man. It is what it is. They go back to my old videos. I don't know why. I don't like them. I would delete them out. I might delete them out. I ain't gonna lie to you. They're not my favorite work, bro. But no, Hurts is a freaking beast, dude. Hurts has proved me wrong. I mean, Hurts been proving me wrong since last year. I've been saying, listen, I criticize Hurts when he need to be criticized. Him and I we've been back and forth. You know, I was a little down a little bit on Hurts. I ain't gonna lie last year when I said that. I don't know. He runs a lot, But I also said this, and go back to my videos. I said don't trade for a quarterback and don't draft one. Get him help. We didn't have you gotta understand, some of the games that Hurts lost to wasn't because of him. A lot of it was because we didn't have receivers. You know what I'm saying? Even how bad he was keeping us in games. I mean, I don't even got to show you this one, but you already know the first one, the Giants game. Hurts almost won that game.
Just two drops that I would say very uncharacteristic, but just gotta go through the highs and lows and go to the next week and make the plays.
How do you recover from that personally?
Just keep going. I mean,
Yeah, that one and then this one. You know what I'm saying? Those ain't on. Well, that's Mitchell, but again, you understand. Like Jalen Hurts has been very good when it comes to improving. I was on his side when he was putting in the work. You know what I'm saying? I never was on the Watson train. I remember right. I didn't want Watson. A lot of Eagle fans wanted Watson. Again, it is what it is, man. I'm glad we didn't get him. Look at the teams. Look at the teams now. Denver don't even have a first round pick, I believe. I don't think they got a first rounder anymore. I don't think they do. Look how bad they are. I'm so glad our GM didn't decide to pull this. If Wilson agreed to come here, man, and Jalen Hurts went to Seattle, oh, I would be sick to my stomach. That's why I'm so glad we didn't get those guys, man. I'm glad Wilson decided not to come to Philadelphia. Don't come to Philadelphia. I'm glad with Jalen Hurts. Because Jalen Hurts proved to everybody that he can play at a high level. When I told people this, and there's some things I was wrong about, like 16-1 record. Listen, I'm gonna say it again. If Jalen Hurts was healthy, I would have won that bet for sure. But it didn't happen. No. A lot of people call me crazy. Not really, because when Jalen Hurts was a starter, he was 16-1 as a starter. He was winning games every time he was on the field, man. I do think that he would have beaten Dallas on Christmas Eve, and I still believe that we would have won that Washington game if Quez didn't fumble that ball. Come on, man. And if Gannon actually knew how to adjust and wasn't the same Gannon, but it is what it is, you know? It is what it is. But I also told you this. Jalen Hurts was going to be league MVP. That's right. I also said this. If the Eagles got home field advantage, they were going to the Super Bowl. I also went on a lot of NFL fan bases pages. Like there was one debate. I bet it with a Falcon fan said that we were going to win a playoff game. I bet eggs on my head and I won. You know what I'm saying? So again, I made sure my team is backed up. You know, I'm glad I didn't bet the Super Bowl though. You know, shout out to where you hired him, man. You know, hopefully he'll be back soon. You know, but it is what it is, man. I used to defend Wentz because he never had what. Now Carson Wentz had weapons, man. Here's the problem with a lot of people don't understand. Carson Wentz was his own worst enemy. Carson Wentz had weapons. They might have not been what Jalen Hurts had, but they were weapons. He had Zach Ertz, a weapon. People don't want to say it, but it was a good tight end at the time. He had Alshon Jeffrey, a weapon. They just didn't want to play with Carson Wentz. It wasn't the fact that he didn't have weapons. They didn't want to play with him. I'm starting to believe that they didn't even want to catch for him. You remember when they were dropping balls and you're like, why are they dropping balls? I think they did it on purpose. And it's crazy to see, but they didn't want to play for him. You know what I'm saying? No, Carson Wentz had weapons. They weren't great, like Odell, but he had weapons. The problem is when you paid him all that money, you couldn't really get him more weapons. And when guys didn't want to come to Philadelphia because he was a train wreck and he wasn't a team leader, there's nothing you can do. The Philadelphia Eagles also, again, if you're the Eagles GM and you know Carson Wentz is ahead, why are you going to go get him weapons? For what? For what? Why are you going to waste that resources? Not saying it's right, because it was wrong. They did him dirty, no question about it. But he also did himself dirty. He also did Howie Roseman dirty. He also did the organization dirty. He also did himself dirty when he didn't want to compete for a starting job because he wanted it given to him. Who do you think you are? You know what I'm saying? Carson Wentz will always be the guy that had so much potential and gave it everything up. He lost everything because of his own ego. He will be the guy that's known as the one-hit wonder quarterback that had one good year and gave Nick Foles the keys after he went down to win a Super Bowl. He will be the guy known as the Eagles that gave us a chance to win a Super Bowl in 2017, but didn't finish the job. So he started to build the house. You know, so he made he made the blueprints how to build the house, but he didn't build the house. He just made the blueprints how to do it, but he didn't build it. He just told people where to go to build the house. But Nick Foles really built the house. Doug Pearson really built the house. Jalen Hurts this year built the Eagles' house, man. Howie Roseman and Nick Sirianni built the house. You see the difference? Carson Wentz wasn't part of that. And in the Super Bowl, supposedly Carson Wentz said he didn't want the team to win. Really? Really? No wonder why they drafted another quarterback, bro. No wonder why a lot of reports are coming out. That is wrong, man. I don't want to go too much into it because he's out of here. But listen, Carson Wentz made himself the enemy. When you go out and you do things that you're not supposed to do, when you show a lack of ability, when you show nothing but diva vibes, or known as a locker room cancer vibes, it is what it is. I barely even credit Wentz for the Super Bowl. No, Nick Foles won that Super Bowl. Now I give credit when it's Wentz for, getting us to the number one seed. But Nick Foles won that Super Bowl. What's up? How you doing? He didn't want the Eagles to win the Super Bowl because, and guess what? Who wants a quarterback like that? Who wants a quarterback like that? I don't want a quarterback like that. I'm sorry, what? You're a quarterback of the Philadelphia Eagles and you don't want your own team to win a Super Bowl because you're not playing. I got a good one for you. You ready? Don't get hurt then. Learn to slide. Learn to slide. He never learned how to slide. So when he got hurt, we're supposed to feel bad for him. We're supposed to lose the Super Bowl because he didn't want. No, man. Listen, I'm done with Carson Wentz, man. It is what it is. We got Jalen Hurts as a quarterback, bro. I'll move past forward. We got AJ Brown, who has his jersey now. It's over. Nick Foles will always be remembered as the Philly legend because he did something that Carson couldn't. Carson is soft. Even in the draft before we drafted him, I have a football book with Carson Wentz, unfortunately. I don't know why. And in the draft, in the book, they were literally saying he had issues with people coaching him. He never wanted to be coached. You know why Jalen Hurts is successful in this league? I'm gonna tell you why. You want to know why he's always hungrier? Because he never got everything handed to him. See, a lot of quarterbacks, they always get a lot handed to them. They never had to work hard for anything. They never had to work hard for anything. When Jalen Hurts was the starter here, man, he wasn't given the keys. He had to earn it. Howie Roseman and Jeffrey Lurie learned from his mistakes. That's what's so crazy. They learned from the mistakes. They didn't give him the keys right away and say, hey, Jalen, you're the guy. Go and do it. He had to earn it. You know what I'm saying? Carson Wentz is a bum. Flat out bum. A disrespectful, listen, a trash bin quarterback. He should really thank Doug Peterson for helping them get to a Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. He was good at one point. Hasn't been the same. Hurts is going to be next McNabb. No, he's nothing like me. McNabb's a choke artist, bro. McNabb could never beat Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is way better than McNabb, bro. Stop it, man. McNabb is never going to win a Super Bowl. Jalen Hurts is going to win us a championship for sure. What's up? Guys celebrated the fast. Guys jinx us, just saying. I celebrated fast. No. I didn't know Jonathan Gannon was going to be trash. What? I didn't jinx nobody. Jonathan Gannon jinxed himself by being a trash bin defensive coordinator, and now he's in Arizona. I didn't jinx nobody. I mean, what am I supposed to say? The Eagles are not a better team than the Kansas City Chiefs? I'm sorry. I had faith in my defensive coordinator. You're right. Next time I will say that our defensive coordinator can't get it done. Come on, man. Jonathan Gannon sucks, dude. And he showed me once again why I should have never had faith. You're right. I should have never had faith in him after beating the 49ers. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Love Hurts. He will be better. I don't think he's McNabb, man. Please don't compare him to McNabb. McNabb's a choke artist. McNabb could never get it done. McNabb is another regular season, postseason quarterback who couldn't go to the big games, man. Can never get it done. He can never get it done. He's never ever going to be able to win a Super Bowl. Jalen would have won the Super Bowl for us. McNabb would never go like McNabb don't have the mindset like Jalen Hurts, bro. Jalen Hurts is a way better quarterback than McNabb, bro. I'm going to say it again. Jalen Hurts is a way better. I get McNabb went to back-to-back NFC championship game. What did he win? He didn't win a Super Bowl. He didn't have weapons. Yeah, he did. He had TL. And he had Deshaun Jackson doing his end of his career. Stop it, man. McNabb had weapons. I'm tired of hearing that. McNabb didn't have weapons. McNabb had weapons. They weren't the weapons you liked, but McNabb had weapons. McNabb didn't corner him. He didn't need the number one receiver. TL wasn't his number one receiver cornering him. He didn't want him. So again, I mean, Jalen Hurts is a way better quarterback than McNabb, bro. Way better. He's a monster. Doesn't have any monster like McNabb. McNabb's a diva, bro. Should we try to steal Eric Bieniemy? No. Why would we need Eric Bieniemy? Why would we need Eric Bieniemy? Why? I think Brian Johnson just fine. I mean, I don't see Eric Bieniemy coming to Philadelphia. Eric Bieniemy, I don't know if someone wants to be another offensive corner. I don't know why. If I'm Eric Bieniemy, man, listen, I'm trying to get a head coaching job, bro. I might stay at Kansas City. Why am I going to Washington? With who? Riverboat Ron? 3 playoff loss, Riverboat Ron? One potential Super Bowl, one Super Bowl appearance? I mean, come on. Ron Rivera is a loser. A loser. It's not really a great head coach, in my opinion. I don't know how he's still here. He should have been fired if you want to be real. So great. The Commanders, once again, are not doing what they're supposed to do. They should have been firing Ron Rivera. I don't know how he's still there. You know, so I guess they're going to give him one more year. You know, Eric Bieniemy might be good over there. Who cares? I don't want Eric Bieniemy. I'm not saying he's not a good offensive coordinator, but I think Brian Johnson, you can't let Brian Johnson walk. Brian Johnson has to get promoted, man. Brian Johnson is close to Jalen Hurts, bro. Eric Bieniemy does not fit Jalen Hurts. He doesn't fit Nick Sirianni's system. And I don't know if Eric Bieniemy is going to want to come to Philadelphia and be an offensive coordinator. I don't know why he would want to do that. I don't know why Eric Bieniemy would want to go to Washington. Just stay in Kansas City with Patrick Mahomes. You already won a Super Bowl. Why are you going to go to a new organization to be an offensive coordinator? This makes sense to me. You know? Okay, I don't think we need him either. No, I mean, listen. Let me tell you something. If Brian Johnson was gone, I would take Eric Bieniemy. But I don't see Nick Sirianni taking Eric Bieniemy because I think they're going to promote Brian Johnson. Right, guy, I told you everybody celebrate too early. That is a bad luck. No, bad luck is Jonathan Gannon, who sucks, bro. And you've been a Jonathan Gannon fan at work. You and I had into it with Jonathan Gannon. Jonathan Gannon, I told you, was a liability. You know what I'm saying? That's why Harry always been told him to pack his stuff and don't come back. You know? I'm surprised no one tries to get him as a head coach. I don't know why. I mean, if you're the coach, let's say you're the Cardinals, right? If I'm the Cardinals, I'm not hiring Jonathan Gannon. I mean, if you know Kyler Murray needs some help, why are you going to hire Jonathan Gannon? He can't even help himself. Gannon is literally the worst defensive coordinator in the Super Bowl. The man let 35 points. 35 points in the Super Bowl. Why would I hire him as a head coach? Let me tell you something. That man's not going to be there in 5. He's not going to be there with the 5-year contract. They're going to rip that up soon. He's not going to last. I would hire Eric Bieniemy for Kyler Murray. But here's the problem. Ready? Kyler Murray is not a good quarterback. That's what I'm saying. People want to say Kyler Murray is not a good quarterback. What you did in college is 2 separate things. This is the guy that wanted to play video games rather than learn and get better. You would not be here. If I was a GM, you would have been traded a long time ago. Oh, you want to play video games rather than work? Oh, you can go now. You can forget about the contract. I'm not signing you. Kyler Murray is also a headache. Did you? I mean, people think Cliff Kingsbury is the problem. I'm telling you, he's not. I'm telling you, he's not. Jonathan Gannon is trash, bro. I'm tired of people defending this guy. Jonathan Gannon had elite defense, and this man let Patrick Mahomes kill him. He had 2 weeks to prepare. 2 weeks. And you don't even do anything to change it. I mean, you change up your whole scheme. You're playing man to man, I believe. Why aren't you not playing the exact same defense that got you there? Why are you changing it up? And if you know your defense is having trouble sacking the quarterback, then you send some heat, you send some blitz, you send some pressure. Everybody say, well, you want him to blitz every time. No, I don't want him to blitz every time. I want him to adjust when he needs to. I want him to at least help his front four when they need it. When your corners are looking confused on the sidelines, and you got James, like when I was watching Bryce Bogner's breakdown, him and CJ Gardner-Johnson and Bropper were literally yelling at each other. That's how you know it was over. I didn't see Jonathan Gannon go over one time saying, hey, yelling at the defense coordinator, defense to get the act together. I didn't see one time him trying to do something different. He had his guys 15 yards off the football. He had Marcus Epps on Travis Kelce. Huh? So hold up. You have Marcus Epps on Travis Kelce rather than C.J. Gardner-Johnson? Yeah, bye. I see why Howard Roseman said, don't even come back to Philadelphia, bro. I mean, listen, people say, well, that might not be true. Listen, Jonathan Gannon said after the MC Changer game, he's going to stay no matter what. Oh, he's not going nowhere. After the Super Bowl, Howard Roseman said, you might as well get that interview, dude, because you're not coming back, bro. You're not coming back, dude. Might as well go get that interview from Arizona and don't even come back, bro. Because if you come back, you're getting fired, dude. Jonathan Gannon was terrible at his job, bro. And I don't know the life of me. As a Cardinals organization, you hired Jonathan Gannon. What is Jonathan Gannon going to do when he's not even good at his regular job? That's like someone promoted me at work when I already suck at my job. And it's like, hold up. You know what I'm saying? Like, Gannon's going to be, I'm telling you, Gannon's going to be another Nathan Hackett, Nathaniel Hackett, whatever his name is. Another situation like that. He's not a good defense coordinator. He's not a good head coach. I don't know why the Cardinals would hire him. And any Cardinal fan think that's a good idea to hire him, you're going to be in the road for a rude awakening, dude. You know what I'm saying? Crazy, man. Gannon goes to the Cardinals to help Kyler Murray. Come on, bro. Dude is trash. I saw some Cardinal fans Gannon press actually said, yeah, I mean, listen, if you're a Cardinals fan, you got to be something. I mean, you might have to be excited because there's nothing else to be excited for. I mean, Cardinal fans have nothing else to look forward to. They're a dumpster fire football team. Of course, they're going to be excited. They don't even know what's happening. I mean, when you have the media telling you that Gannon is a good defense coordinator and he has 70 sacks, of course you'll be excited. Now listen to EC1. I'm gonna tell you like this. Gannon's not nothing to be excited. I mean, if you watch his press conference, man, he don't cite me. He don't cite me. Hell, he said, Bergen, let's go. We're gonna have some fun. What fun? You let offense score on you? Is that gonna be fun? I'm telling you, Cardinal fans gonna be drinking at the bar, man, if they have one. Eagles suck. Six. Who are you, bro? Flyers suck. Phillies suck. Everything is about Philly sucks. Well, I mean, if the Eagles suck, bro, well, why are you gonna watch them? Okay, I don't care about the rest of the sports. I mean, if you're not gonna watch them, don't watch them. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't think the Eagles suck, bro. You know what I'm saying? I don't think they suck, dude. I think that our defense coordinator sucked. Listen, it was a successful year for what we were. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people ain't going to like that because we didn't win the Super Bowl. Do I wish we won the Super Bowl? Yeah. Yeah, I would. I wanted the Super Bowl win. No, for sure. But if you remember right in the beginning of the season, everybody said we couldn't even win the division. Everybody said we couldn't even win a wild card. Hell, people told us we're one and done. We made it all the way to the Super Bowl. Now again, you got to win it. But listen, sometimes you're not ready to when you think you are. Sometimes it is more motivation to do better. You got to say Nick Sani, this was his. Sometimes head coaches in the second year are not ready. Sometimes they get a little overexcited, you know. So again, I mean, maybe next time when Nick Sani goes back to Super Bowl, you know what I'm saying? We'll be ready. We'll be ready. Sometimes it takes a couple of years for a team, or maybe next year for a team to do what they need to do to win. You know what I'm saying? Now, I believe in my opinion, if Jonathan Gannon had a right system in play and he adjusted, we win this football game. He said that we wouldn't win nothing more. Yeah, according to everybody, Jalen Hurts had a new arm. Daniel Jeremiah had on 9 for 1 or on an NFL podcast. So he said, well, go get 2 first-round picks. Go get Deshaun, trade 2 first-round picks. You got another one there. Hey, Bozo, let me tell you something. This is why you're not a GM in the league, man. I'm so glad Howard Roseman didn't listen to you. Daniel Jeremiah has never been asked to be a GM. You want to know why? Because he's not a good GM. Because just because you know college football and you're an expert at NFL draft does not make you a smart GM. Train 2 first-round picks for a quarterback. Number one, you wouldn't just give up 2 first-round picks. You have to give up more than that. Number two, I'm not trading for no quarterback when I got a quarterback on a roster that's a second-round pick, man. Go out and build around him. That's what they did. They go out and get him AJ. Now you see the difference. You know what I'm saying? Must not like America then, because without Philly, there would be no. Listen, man, I'm not even worried about trolls, bro. Let the trolls troll, man. I don't care what they have to say. Who cares what that clown has to say? Don't watch the Eagles in. Take your colors off. If you want to donate any merchandise, send them to me. I'll take it. You know what I'm saying? Don't bother watching them. Why are you going to watch them? They suck, right? You know what I'm saying? I'm going to watch the Phillies. Okay, so, I mean, it is what it is, bro. I said, watch Hurts going to work on his grade. You did. I got to give you credit for it. You and the Slasher said that. You did. And you were right. You know what I'm saying? Well, you suck. Yeah, listen, he's a clown, bro. You know, let him talk. He's a clown. Well, let him be excited. MC Philly, the most important. Raga, I told you everybody to celebrate too early. That is a bad luck. It's like no, it wasn't bad luck, bro. Listen, no, if you don't know who he is, he was one of my old managers from work, man. He subscribed to my channels. Definitely go watch his video, man. He does a little. If you like funny stuff, definitely go watch it. You know, if you like corny stuff, go watch it too. You know, no disrespect to him. I've been telling you. What did I say at work before? You know, you and I go back and forth with it. Gannon sucks. Gannon is a soft defensive coordinator. You defended him. You defended him. I told you Gannon was trash. You told me he wasn't. I told you Gannon was horrible. I said Jonathan Gannon was freaking trash. I was screaming when I was watching the game. I said Gannon is horrible, man. Oh no, Gannon's not horrible. He won us the game. No. The players around him make him better, man. So if I jinxed you, I'm sorry. Sorry for trying to believe in my defense coordinator. My fault. You know what I'm saying? I mean, listen, man, like, there's those things jinxing, bro. in my opinion. There's no such thing as that. Gannon is trash, bro. There's nothing I can do. I'm sorry he didn't want to adjust. I mean, come on. I'm supposed to be humble. We were the better team than Kansas City. If you looked at paper, if you looked on how we were playing, I really thought we would blow this team out. I did not think my defense was not going to come through. I'm sorry for having confidence. Gannon is worse. No, Jim Schwartz is way better than him. I never thought I would say it, but I'll take Jim Schwartz right now over Gannon. Jim Schwartz would have won the Super Bowl with that defense. He would have. He would have won with, listen, he would have won. I believe, listen, I got to agree with Bobby Murphy again. Damn. I've been agreeing with him a lot. I believe we had Doug Pearson and Schwartz as our head coach and defense coordinator. We win. I like Nick Sirianni. But Doug Pearson, the reason why he won a Super Bowl was because he was ready in the moment. Because he's been around for years. Nick Sirianni is still a little bit inexperienced, a little bit. Now, do I think it will get there? Absolutely. I like Nick Sirianni. And you know, a lot of people think he's corny. He's not funny. You know, the way he was goofy in the Super Bowl. Listen, man, come on, bro. Why? Because he did this? Because he did that? He was smiling at Jalen Hurts? That makes him weird? Everybody's saying, oh, that's the reason why they lost. No, he lost because of Jonathan Gannon. Then they bring up the memes of him crying when they were doing the anthem. He was crying. Not after the Super Bowl. People are reaching. You know what I'm saying? I'm seeing a lot more trolls. And so funny, a lot of the trolls are the teams are rooting for the teams that got spanked by us, man. Like, I really don't want to hear from a Cowboy fan, bro. You haven't done shit in 28 years, man. 29 to be exact. Because that's going to be another year of you not doing nothing. I don't want to hear from a 49ers fan. Y'all don't even have a quarterback, bro. And your players were crying because they got exposed. And let's be real. You want me to be real with you? You want to talk about easy schedule? You didn't play nobody either. So when I hear that, I look at the 49ers. Who were their players? Who were their division rivals? Seattle? Come on, man. They don't even have a quarterback, really. The Rams? Come on, man. They were trash. So again, I mean, when I hear people other than Kansas City talk about my team, talk about, oh, look at them. I told you. No, you didn't. Shh. You were not in the Super Bowl. If you're not in the Super Bowl, don't tweet me. Don't IG me. Especially when you're in my division. Come on, man. You're not in the Super Bowl. Why are you talking? You know what I'm saying? Like some of these fan bases are weird. Like, stop trying to get off another team's success and trying to make it like you did something. You didn't do nothing. Oh, look, the Eagles lost in the Super Bowl. Yeah, but at least we made it. When are the Cowboys going to make the Super Bowl? I'm guessing next year, right? Yeah. When's the Commanders going to make it? Or is that going to be your name, though? Unless you're going to change it one more time. Like, come on, bro. And I'm tired of Giant fans, man. We own y'all franchise, bro. I got Giant fans on my page right now talking about, I can't wait to play y'all. We're going to blow you out. Bro, every time these Giant fans run their mouth in the offseason, it don't end well with them, man. It doesn't end well with you. Every time a Giant fan runs his mouth talking about the Eagles are trash, it doesn't end well for you. Why don't you understand that? Shut up and be humbled until you beat us, until you sweep us, because we've been sweeping y'all bums for the last 15 years. We own y'all bitches. If we don't sweep you, we beat you. We beat y'all 3 freaking times, man. So if you want to be real, you're the fraud that led us to the Super Bowl. So who's the real fraud? Since you want to talk about we're the frauds. No, because we ran into you. Should have beaten us then, right? If we were so bad of a team, you should have did it. You should have did what Kansas City did. You didn't. Come on, man. They cry more than doubt. Hey, sorry, bro. Giant fans on Twitter talk about, oh, you're going to lose everybody. Bro, you're not even going to have Saquon Barkley on your team next year, man. And you might not have Daniel Jones. And I'm going to be real with you. I don't think your head coach is even better than mine. I don't think your head coach is going to last. I'm going to be real with you. I don't think the Giants are going anywhere anytime soon. Not unless we run this division. We're going to run this division, man. Listen, I'm telling you right now, as long as Jalen Hurts is in this game, man, you're not winning this division. You're not winning this division. So my advice to all these Commander fans, Giant fans, Cowboy fans is just shut up and wait for the offseason and the draft before you run your mouth, man. Because if you weren't in the Super Bowl, you didn't do nothing, and you're a Cowboy fan who's never seen the Lombardi Trophy, and you're probably 10 years old or 15 years old, shut up. You've seen none. You don't know what it's like to win. You don't know what it's like to lose in big games. You've never been through there. The only time you've been to a big game was a divisional round. Your quarterback is 1-4. And the only thing you can bring up is we own you in the division. Too bad every quarterback in the division owns Dak Prescott. Shut up. Don't call me. Don't DM me. Don't tweet me. If you're not in the Super Bowl and you're not the Kansas City fans, shut up and sit down. That includes the 49er fans too, because I see a lot of them. You're not the 49ers, you're the 41ers. Worse than Cowboy fans. Shut up and sit down. Go get your quarterback first before you run your mouth. Shut up. Giant fans calling Hurts, but yeah, hurt, yeah. Again, we not only beat the Giants once, we beat them 3 times. Shut up and sit down. I really don't want to hear from a Giant fan. I'm tired of hearing from Giant fans. We beat y'all to get to a Super Bowl. So we were really frauds and y'all thought that, why didn't your team beat us? You had the momentum. Everybody was picking you. Shut up and sit down. Mr. Crying fan base that cried when we tanked for Devontae Smith. Thought we should have played. You know what I'm saying? You went through head coaches after head coach. You finally got a head coach, right? You know what I'm saying? And we still own y'all. Stop talking. I don't want to hear from a Giant fan. Y'all didn't do anything we did. And the last time y'all made a Super Bowl was 2012. Shut up and sit down. When we own y'all really can't talk. We not only beat y'all twice, we beat y'all 3 times. Uno, dos, tres. I agree. Our window might close sooner than later. No, I like. Do I want to win a Super Bowl? Yeah, I do. Because now you got Tic Tac boy Juju Smith-Schuster thinking he's good. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to win, but we didn't because our defense coordinator unfortunately did not do what he was supposed to do. We didn't win. It is what it is. Giants haven't swept us. Yeah, again, I mean, and that's why I don't take no Giant fans seriously, bro. And I hate when they talk. I'm talking about, well, you see, they're frauds. Then why didn't you beat us? 49er fans are, well, you see the frauds. Then why didn't you beat us? If we were frauds, you should have did something about it. You had to wait for the Kansas City Chiefs fans, I mean, the Chiefs team to do something about it. Why didn't you do it then? If we were frauds. And I don't want to hear shit about next year's schedule too. That's easy too. If I hear another year of it's going to be easy schedule for the Eagles, I ain't trying to hear that. And I don't want to hear it this year too. It wasn't an easy schedule for us. No game, no team, no game is easy, man. This ain't EA Sports. This is not Madden. You don't get to skip through a game and get a W. That don't work like that, man. We have to really compete. Well, the team got to compete. If we would have beaten Mahomes, it would have been, oh, Mahomes had a hurt leg. So again, man, you're not gonna win no matter what. We'll be back. Don't worry. I don't think it's the end for the Eagles. I don't think the window's closed, man. I don't because listen, we got the right quarterback. We got a lot of draft picks next year. We're gonna be fine. It might take us a while to get back for sure. I mean, I mean, we thought last year. I mean, before this year when we were. I mean, before last year when we were rebuilding, because it's new year. We thought it was a rebuild too. We went and got A.J. Brown. Again, I mean, you never know with Howie. And now you got some bandwagon Chief fans. Yeah, again, man. Chief fans always been, bandwagons, man. It's cool. It's cool. It's all right. Let them have that Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it hurts, bro. It really does because, like, we had that game. We had that game. I was watching when my guy Bird game 31 shot to him, and I couldn't really watch it again, man, because I was watching a defense that couldn't stop nobody. I mean, again, man, like I keep on saying this. I mean, this is just bad, bro. This is just bad, man. But when you have this type of defense, man, I mean, come on, bro. I mean, after the Jacksonville Jaguars, they did their homework on us. The Jacksonville Jaguars did the exact same stuff to us. Gannon should have knew. Gannon should have knew. They did their homework on us. Why didn't we do our homework on them? I heard Vic Fangio was supposedly helping Gannon too. I'm glad he's in Miami. I don't want him. You got exposed by Andy Reid also. Bye. Our window won't close with how bad MC. Yeah, I agree. I'm not. I don't think Dak is going to win anything. I don't. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna laugh if the Cowboys draft a quarterback. I hope that God the Cowboys draft a quarterback, and I'm talking about quarterback that I'm going to laugh is the one from TCU. They really, I believe Jerry Jones is going to pull a quarterback controversy in Dallas, man. He would do that. You know, it is what it is. They ain't the Chief fans, they Mahomes fans. Whatever, man. I mean, they won. It is what it is. I feel like the rest was screwed. I mean, that James Bradbury call was horseshit. It was a ticky-tacky call. I don't care what anybody says. But again, I mean, we got away from some calls too. I think Miles Sanders fumbled that ball and it got overturned. But again, I mean, Devontae Smith call, man, I would never understand that because we ran another play. I don't know how you allow Andy Reid to challenge it when we ran another play. And I'm not the 49 fans. I'm not going to talk about it forever. It's over. But I'm going to be still upset with that because that was a BS They listen. It is what it is, man. Listen, we were young. We'll be back. I'm not worried about it. We'll see Mahomes again. You know, the game meet right Mahomes like they did Tom Brady. Yeah, I mean, but again, man, when you got a defensive coordinator that has an elite defense and you can't get one fucking pressure, can't get one sack, it shouldn't even have to come down to Jalen Hurts trying to tie the game up. It shouldn't have to come down to that. You should have had that game. We had the lead by halftime. We should have had the lead by halftime. And by the way, Coach Watkins, man, a lot of people ain't gonna like this, man. I might consider trading him. If I was a GM, I might trade him to get something back from him in the draft. I know a lot of people want to sit there and say, well, he hasn't got opportunities. That's because he sucks. Quest Watkins has been disappointing, bro. You know what I'm saying? He's not had a great year. He really hasn't been the guy that we wanted. You know what I'm saying? He had one good year as his rookie. Second year, he's been dropping a lot of footballs. Third year, again, man. You got to catch that ball. If you don't catch that, why are you diving for the ball? All you got to do is run to it. Why are you diving? You don't need to dive for it. Run to the ball. He's lazy with his route running. He can't really run routes, man. Quez Watkins sucks, dude. I'm sorry, man. You know what I'm saying? Like again, I'm bringing competition in if I can for easy, man. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I'll even let Greg Ward challenge him for the third spot. But like I said, I think Greg Ward pulls that ball in. A lot of people want to like that, but again, I don't care. I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to tell you what I think. Quez Watkins sucks, dude. He's horrible. I don't care when anybody says, "Oh, he didn't get the chance." No wonder why he didn't. Of course, he didn't get the chance. He sucks. He sucks. What do you mean? He didn't get the chance. He sucks. He's terrible. He's another John Ross. He sucks. Pesco brings that ball in for sure. Catch the ball. Now your shoulder hurts. I'm sure your shoulder hurts, right? You had all day to tweet Debo Samuel, but your shoulder hurts, right? Then why did you play? If your shoulder still hurts, then don't play. Then you should have never played the Super Bowl. I ain't trying to hear that. Tell me his shoulder was hurt. He had a strange shoulder, man. What? You're not even in the game most times. What shoulder strain do you have that Jalen Hurts didn't have? You don't think Jalen Hurts had a shoulder strain too? I mean, that's an excuse, dude. I'm sorry. That's an excuse, bro. Talk about shoulder strain, bro. Everybody was hurt, man. Catch the ball. When your name is called, you go out there and you catch the ball. You get paid to do that. And if you can't do that, let me find someone else who can. And there are going to be people, I'm sure going to be people in the comments about, we got to give him another shot. You can. I'm not. People said we should give Jalen Reagor a chance again. I didn't want that. He's not a good receiver. By year 3, you already know what he is. You already know what he is by year 3. Quez Watkins is not a receiver that's going to get better. I'm just sorry. He is what he is. He's a 6th-round pick. That's a fourth receiver at best, man. He sucks, dude. He's horrible. He shows some flashes, but he's not gonna live up to that six. Listen, he's a 6th-round pick for a reason, 7th or 8th. I forget what he is. You know what I'm saying? I think you got to adjust that in draft, man. You got to get another receiver. I would not be surprised if he was drafting another receiver, maybe in the second or at least second early third, maybe. You know what I'm saying? Like, because like he's not doing what he's supposed to do. And I don't want to hear about your shoulder hurts, man. Then you should have never played the Super Bowl. Sit out. If you cannot perform at a high 100%, if you can't perform at 100% level, sit your behind on the bench and let someone else take your job. Or let someone else take your place for that game. Why are you going to put yourself in risk and cost us a Super Bowl? Again, I mean, listen. If you catch that ball,
clearly in his face, you're going to see Quez Watkins. He's just running a big post. Juan Thornhill, the safety. That's good coverage. He's right on him, and that's a great ball.
Coverage, dude. He had no coverage on him. He diving for the ball. All you got to do is run to the ball and catch it. So trash, man. Mahomes was playing with hurt what angle? Exactly. Hurts played with a messed up shoulder. Exactly. You don't see Hurts complaining. You don't see Hurts talking about, oh, I had a messed up shoulder. That's why I fumbled. No, he's taking accountability. Quite about I had a hurt shoulder. I had a sprained shoulder, but I haven't been best. All that, man. Come on, bro. You didn't need to die for it. Like, again, I don't understand that. He didn't need to die for it. And his hands were in the wrong position. That's why I hate Aaron Moorhead, man. That's why I say, man, Aaron Moorhead sucks as a receiver coach, too. Because it's easy to coach AJ and Devontae. But when you need a guy like Quez Watkins to develop, we don't got the guy that can develop him. Aaron Moorhead sucks, dude, as a receiving coach. I'm trying to figure out how he's back, and I'm trying to figure out how the hell is Michael Clay back. Those two should be gone. Aaron Moorhead sucks, dude. I would bring another receiver coach. If you're going to hire a player as a receiver coach, man, just listen. I'm trying to bring in someone else, man, because Aaron Moorhead can't develop nothing. Just because he has AJ and Devontae already been developed, man. Devontae was developed when he walked into the draft, man. He's already been an established receiver. There's nothing to develop. But I'm talking about the receivers like Quez Watkins. We have not seen him take a huge jump yet. Not to the point where I think has been anything shocker. I mean, you see some flashes. But I don't see that jump where he's making these catches that he's supposed to. That also goes back to development, man. That Quez catch, it may not always be on him. It might be the coach, man. Because it's not the first time we saw receivers leave, man. Aaron Moorhead, it should not be here, bro. I never liked Aaron Moorhead, bro. I think that he has two good receivers already on the roster that doesn't need to be developed. But when Quez Watkins needs to be developed, he's not. He's not. In some ways, I don't blame Quez Watkins. I blame Aaron Moorhead. Because Aaron Moorhead still can't develop certain receivers. Look at the receivers that we brought in. They can't develop. Let's take a look. John Hightower wasn't a first or a second round pick. Didn't live up to it. Now he's with the Chargers. I don't know how he's doing, but I'm pretty sure he's doing much better. Quez Watkins. He's really not developed. He's still raw. And that goes back to Aaron Moorhead, bro. Aaron Moorhead is not a good receiver coach. He's with the Indianapolis tree. Again, man, I'm not a fan of him, man. How about Quez? You look at Hurts playing with a messed up shoulder and Tua playing with a concussion earlier in the year. Yeah, I mean, it is good season. Hopefully, the Jags and Eagles playing. Listen, man, I'm going to tell you like this. Doug Pearson's a hell of a good coach, bro. Hell of a good coach, man. I think that Doug Peterson might take that Jags to a Super Bowl. I do. And I would love to play Doug Peterson. You know what I'm saying? I would love to play Doug Peterson. You know what I'm saying? I think Doug Peterson. I think Doug Peterson might take a. I think Doug Peterson's a hell of a good coach, bro. And you should be really happy you have him, man. I mean, listen, man. Doug Peterson showed that he could take even a mediocre. I really don't think Trevor Lawrence is really good. I'm gonna be real with you. I think Trevor Lawrence is a mediocre at best quarterback. He makes some good throws here and there, but he's also a guy that doesn't have pocket awareness. I think Doug Peterson's making Trevor Lawrence better than what he is. And that's what you're supposed to have, right? Because as a head coach, as good as Doug Peterson is, you're supposed to be able to go and help a quarterback out, man. And the fact he was able to do it in 1 year as a brand new head coach, almost take him to the national championship is incredible. And I think the Jacksonville Jaguars are only going to get better from here. I do. You know, I think the Jacksonville Jaguars, even trading for Calvin Ridley was a sneaky move too. I think Calvin Ridley next year could be really good for the Jacksonville Jaguars, man. You know, and I think they got cash space too, and I think they got some picks down the road for Jacksonville. So listen, man, y'all gonna be good down the road, man. I can't even lie. You know, shout out to Dougie Pete, man. DeMar Hamlin got cardiac arrest. I'm listen, man. Listen. Quez Watkins isn't developed yet. Aaron Moorhead sucks. I'm gonna be real with you. Aaron Moorhead had 2 legit receivers already established. Devontae Smith didn't need to be developed. He's already been developed. He was already made for the NFL when he walked in. Look at Quez Watkins. Look at John Hatter. Hell, they couldn't even develop JJ. I mean, it's not saying no. Look at the receivers he had. The receivers that we have are not developed. Look at the receivers, man. There are not second rounders. They're not first rounders. Aaron Moorhead is a horrible receiver coach, man. I would have let him go. If you're gonna let Gannon go, bro, I don't know why you bring Michael Clay back. Michael Clay sucks. Did you know we don't even have it? We haven't. Again, I'll say this again. The last punt returner that we had was Josh Huff. 2016, he was cut. He was the best punt returner that we had. Remember when he Thomas saw in the end zone? The last kickoff return was Darren Sproles. If you want to count Jalen Rager, go for it. I don't count that. We haven't had a punt return touchdown since Josh Huff. We haven't had a kick return since Darren Sproles. And our special teams defense sucks. They're the reason why we lost. When Kadarius Toney almost scoring for a punt return. Why the hell are we keeping him? Again, man, Michael Clay should be with Jonathan Gannon right now. If you want to be real, in Arizona, him and Gannon were the reason why we lost that football game. I don't understand the life of me how you keep him, but you keep. I mean, again, man, like I'm hoping. Like again, I wish some team would hire him as a head coach. I had no problem hiring Jonathan Gannon. They took Shane Steichen. Hire Michael Clay. He's great with special teams. He's a great special teamer. Hell, people took the chance on Joe Judge. What's the difference? Go hire Michael Clay. He's a great punt returner, he's a great punt. Listen, he's a great special teams coach. He gets the best out of players. Look at Covey. He looks like a star. Any team needs a head coach, just go hire Michael Clay. Hell, you need a real head coach. Aaron Moorhead's your guy. Aaron Moorhead can develop. Look how Quez Watkins almost got that. That was brilliant, man. Look how he developed AJ and Devontae. So much of a hell of a coach, man. He'll make any team successful. You know what I'm saying? Cooper Kupp, probably the best route runner in the league. No, he's not. Cooper Kupp is 1-1, but Devontae Adams is the number one. Calvin and Smith can run routes. Who? Calvin and Smith can run routes, but the fact that Cup isn't as fast. I don't know why we talk about Cooper Cup, man. Listen, man. Like again, like I feel like the Eagles. I feel like the Eagles have a lot in the offseason. Trying to turn this thing on, man. Come on, bro. Oh well. Like it's crazy, man. It's crazy. It's crazy that got still talking about Jonathan Gannon, man. Oh yeah. You know, this is how I feel about Jonathan Gannon. The sad little violin. All these Gannon fans, man. He's a great defensive coordinator. And we're going to miss him. I just want to say, I appreciate Jonathan Gannon for giving me 70 sacks. And I just want to know why Eagle fans don't like him. So Jonathan Gannon is the reason why we were in the Super Bowl. And the fact that, big bad Howie Roseman let him go. That's why we will never win. Because Jonathan Gannon is such a great defense coordinator. Yeah, okay. Quez Watkins reminds me of John Ross, got speed, but can't catch. Yeah. No. See, here's the thing. We're trying to promote Aaron Moorhead. I want to say he's great. You know what I'm saying? Aaron Moorhead is the greatest receiver coach. I want him to get head coaching jobs before the season is over, so we can promote him, and maybe some people see my stream. Aaron Moorhead's the best coach candidate for any team. I think that Aaron Moorhead would be great for Washington. He would be a great head coach. Matter of fact, you add him, you add Michael Clay, I'm just saying, your special team's going to be rocking. Just saying. Go get him. Please. I mean, if we lose him, I'm going to be hurt. I mean, I don't want you to get him because, listen, there's so much important to this team. Please go. Please don't get him. They're great coaches, man. He's the one I'm going to get in Eagles' bedroom soon, man. Oh, that's cool, bro. Shout out to you. I hate this music, dude. I'm sorry. I hate this music. There you go. I don't know what that was. There you go. I don't know what that was. Sorry, you two. I don't know why I'm muted on. Hold on, let me just turn that bitch off. My fault. There we go. My fault. Shit, I didn't even know I had that. My fault. Quez Walkers reminds me of John Ross. Got speed, but can't catch. Yeah. Sorry about that. I was trying to turn some music on. And I think I had a recording. Because you know how sometimes you be doing a lot of streams where we're on it'll be taking too much, so I'll be it's my own music sometimes. Anyway, don't copyright me, YouTube. It is what it is, man. But listen, in this off season, there's gonna be a lot of things that we're gonna be talking about. I got some draft videos coming up. I've been looking at prospects. And I'm gonna tell you like this draft corner, these corners in this draft are gonna be huge. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of them that I like. There's a lot of safeties I like. There are a lot of running backs I like. A lot of receivers I like, man. We're going to be talking about it all, man. I'm telling you, it's going to be a fun year. If you're not, hit that like button, subscribe, man. I go on rants, but listen, it's going to be a fun year, man. Listen, I'm not the biggest YouTuber, not the smartest YouTuber, not trying to say I know it all, but I try to know what I'm talking about. If I don't, hey, it is what it is. I try to bring passion. Every day, bring facts sometimes, and I try to entertain this last year. My goal is to entertain. My goal is to make you laugh when you're feeling bad, when you're feeling sad. My goal is to make you happy. My goal is to make you feel good. You know, my goal is to tell you the truth. What I think should happen. You know, I try to give you facts. Whether you want to take it or not, it's different. I might not be the best Eagles YouTuber. I'm not saying I am. I call myself an Eagle fan, not an Eagles YouTuber, not an Eagle content creator. I look at y'all subscribers as my way of talking. It's like therapy to me, you know? When I started this YouTube channel, or a couple of them, I wanted to talk football because my family don't like football. I don't know anybody else in my family or my friends who like football, really. They don't got the same input or the same passion as me. I made my couple of my friends on YouTube, and they're real good friends too. Shout out to Ray Hide. You know, we met in person, watched the game together. So I met a lot of people on this platform. You know, and hopefully I'll meet some of y'all. You know, down the road. You know, because I want to get to some games, but it's I gotta find I've been looking at jobs, man, but I gotta wait for my mom to get surgery so I can get jobs. So yeah, I'm gonna be home for 2 weeks, man. Shit, I'm trying to get a job again, bro. Cause like I like working, but it's like if I gotta, it's a long story, man. But so we're gonna do more content down the road, man. I appreciate y'all for coming on. Definitely hit that like, hit that subscribe. Y'all the best, man, for real. This content will not be pushing the way it is without y'all. Keep on helping me grow, and I'll try my best to help y'all be entertained, man. So it's your boy EC1, and yeah, man, go birds, bro. Fly goes fly. I'm out.